Welcome back to Ill Blur Matic. What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another live stream collabo. Just waiting with my collabo fellow consecrator to tune in so I can add them to the actual live. So hope everyone's having a wonderful. Oh gosh, wait, let me end. Okay, let me go back. Yeah, it's Chan. You should have been asking me this a while back. Let me go back to Twitter. Where's Twitter at? Okay. Oh, where's my Twitter? Ah! Yes. Okay, so just waiting on the collaborator to tune in for the live. Hope everyone's having a wonderful Saturday. I know here in the state I live in, it's beautiful outside. Glad that we have some nice weather coming. Despite what we've been going through with our crazy hectic weather. But yeah, I want to thank each and every person that tunes in. And like I said, just waiting on that person to drop on in. Here we go. Uh-oh. Wait. Hey. Hey, how's it going? Can you hear me? I can't hear you. Let's see something. I I can't hear you. I can't hear you. The volume. I cut. See if you can cut your volume up. Can you? I still can't. I still can't hear you. I think your volume's down.
No, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Hey, Master Chan, thanks for tuning in. This is the other person I'm collaborating with on today's topic, anime and Marvel. Thanks for tuning in, and welcome to the live. I appreciate it for the collab. So let's get right into it. So, early anime shows that you watched.
Listen, okay, let me make sure I can. Oh wait,
Okay.
hold on. I want to try to share. I want to try to share this too.
Okay.
Let me see.
Okay.
Okay, listen. I'll figure it out another time. I'll
Okay.
figure it out another time.
All right.
But if it okay, so what are we going for first? The what's our first topic, man? Is it Marvel or is it anime?
Well, originally it was anime, unless you want to go with Marvel first.
No. We can go with Marvel. I mean anime. My bad. We can go with
Okay.
anime.
Okay.
So I mean, if you really want to take it back, I mean, pretty much everybody knows this, but it's always been like Samurai Champloo as a starter. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Always
Wow.
Samurai Champloo
Okay.
as a starter, and
Okay.
then of course you got your Bebop, you got your Space Dandy. You know what I'm saying? I like that groovy kind of old school type anime.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Okay. Different type of choices, but all right.
Look, I'm pretty sure a lot of people were probably like thinking like, oh, she's probably gonna say like Sailor Moon or something. No, man, or Dragon Ball. Like, no, man. Just sometimes you gotta step outside of the norm. You can't always be like
Okay.
in this box. You know what I'm saying?
I respect it. I respect it. You know. Okay. So some of the choices I had, I kind of brought mine with me, but Dragon Ball was officially the first one I actually watched. I was like, literally, it was on WB back in the day, and I wonder why they took it off.
Okay.
Because of some of the stuff that they in scenes they showed in there. I was like, oh, that's why. So that was like the very
Fight
first anime.
scenes.
Uh-huh.
It was
Yeah, that I
refreshing.
watched. I was about 7. Yeah, this sound WB long, but that was the very first one. The next one is something that I got into. Pokemon came out at the time, but Digimon to me had a better actual story than
I just want
Pokemon.
to take into account of the collector sets that he's pulling out right now. It's like full collector set. Y'all got damn off my word, but you got literal proof sitting in front of you. That's wild to me. I respect it. I respect it.
but yeah, literally, Digimon. Like don't get me wrong, I love Pokemon, but the games were better for Pokemon. Digimon just had a better story to me. It was just like, you know what?
It was a little more ferocious. That's all I'm gonna say. It was a
Okay.
little more ferocious. They tried to keep Pokemon they tried to keep it cute, and then of course when you come out with the movies and the storylines start to develop, then that's when you take it to the next level. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I gotta agree with you on that. Digimon.
Yeah. Yeah, because in Digimon, like they was dying and everything. I was like, that. I was like, wow.
It was real life. That's all it was. It was just real life back then.
Right. Yeah. With Pokemon, like I said, the games were a lot better and stuff. And the last one I would like to say the early that I got into that I got in trouble for, Cowboy Bebop.
You already know what it is. Stop it. The boy Spike is gonna forever be goated. The boy Spike definitely gonna forever be goated.
Yeah, he was one of my favorite characters from Cowboy Bebop. Spike was. Yeah.
But, yeah, I gotta all right. I'll keep that.
Okay. Well, all right.
I'll keep it at Spike. I'm always one of those people that be like, there are some side characters. I really respect Faye. That's all I'm just saying. I really respect her.
Okay, I liked her story. Her story was very interesting.
She was about her coin. That's one thing you gotta know. She was about the coin.
She was about the money. Yeah. Good morning, T with D. Thanks for tuning in.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're here with it.
Yeah. So yeah, I can see Faye. Yeah, Faye was a decent character. I liked her characters. Their story was a little different from Spice, but it was interesting dynamics between their characters and stuff. Yeah.
Okay. Definitely. Yeah. Man, I wish we can show. I wish I could show some clips.
I know.
Get some clips going. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
That's what I was thinking about.
Okay.
I wish listen. I got clips. I got clips. But also Ed was really nice. I really enjoy Ed. Like for Cowboy.
Yeah, Ed was. I gotta agree. Ed was a fun character. Ed just reminded me, just like it was just the kid, and just she was so like zen. She had like this zen vibe. Yeah, she was very unique to the Cowboy Bebop group because she kind of like brought them together. If you really think about it,
Oh yeah, she was the puppy, okay? Not live puppy. That's all I gotta say.
Right.
She definitely was that one.
Yeah, because when she left, it was like, man, you can see they all missed her. It was like, man, they weren't expecting her to go back to her dad. I was like, oh man.
I used to hate when they get in them squabbles though, because it's like, hey yo, my guy, where am I supposed to go after this? You know what I'm saying? We all breaking away. Right. I didn't know where to go. That's why I came here. But like I said, or like you said, Ed definitely kept it all together. I've always been really intrigued by that. Trigun as well. Okay. My man's Slim Jim hair. Okay. I really messed with that heavy.
Trigun. Okay.
Ultimately.
I watched it. It wasn't like my favorite, but I did enjoy it though. I'm not gonna lie. I did enjoy it for what it was. Yeah.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, listen.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to those type of animes, you know what I'm saying? Those are like the ones we actually kind of just did were like early 90s, 2000s.
Right.
anime. Well, not even all the way 2000s. Those were more so early 90s. And then
Right.
you got to appreciate the artwork for it. You got to appreciate the artwork and the form for it, because it set the basis of what we have today. And of course, if you look back at a lot of stuff was just based that, it set the blueprint. It really set the blueprint for it.
Right.
So I feel like definitely with the 90s animes, you got to give it hardcore respect, man. Can't even defer from that one.
Yeah.
And then what else you got, man? What other ones were you truly interested in?
Okay, so I got a question. So I'm looking at my vision board right now. So what anime series that you watch, like maybe name like maybe 3 or maybe 4 anime series that you've watched the full series?
Okay, so listen. I will say Hellsing.
Okay.
Hellsing. I enjoy a lot of the animes with pretty much like the blood and gore. I love it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like Deadman Wonderland.
Okay.
I wish that had more seasons, but I was like,
yeah, it was a good show.
If it's just that good, you gotta put some respect on it.
Right.
And of course, like the mainstream things that they got going on right now, which is, Bleach. I've been through Bleach. I stopped, rewatched it. I did the same thing with Naruto and Shippuden, but listen, when I rewatched it, it was back in like 2019, and then I caught up in like 2020. Like those episodes are flying out. Mad respect to One Piece. I don't want to put no spoilers out because if you ain't following it, you just too late, my guy. You just too late. You too late.
Yeah, that's
so much
true.
going on, bruh. Like you're too late. So you're just gonna have to watch it with your kids. Y'all gonna have to grow up again together to watch it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We like Black Clover. Asta, we like those. We like those. We really do. We really do. I have some more that I kind of watch, like Fruits Basket, like everything that I kind of watch. There's some stations, like I don't know about the rest of the world, but I ain't rich like that, so I got me a little Roku TV. Damn, that little live TV that come on there, it has besides like Crunchyroll, it has what I think it's Retro Crush.
Yeah, Retro Crush, right?
Yeah, I think it's like Retro Crush and Con Anime. So when I tell you stuff like Eat Man and Beaster start coming on, I'm like, hey, yo, come on now. But I'm definitely a variety. I know Hulu carries a lot, so get that Hulu subscription. Like get that Hulu subscription, get them good ones.
Right.
Titan.
Okay.
Just to name 17 of them. You
feel we can go there. I say Bleach definitely was one of them. When the anime ended on the cliffhanger, it was a little disappointing, but then you had the manga, it was like, man, it was so good. Then you ended off with a cliffhanger. You like, wait a minute, this is the end? But then I read the manga to get like caught up to like the Quincy King arc. I am happy that Bleach is returning this year. I'm so glad of that because I'm like, yo, I got this collection of Bleach, and I'm just like, yo, I'm missing the final season.
Okay, definitely.
Yeah, so Bleach was one of the shows I completed. The other show I would say is what is the other show I was going to say? I would say Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball Z, I watched all the arcs and stuff. Even the filler arc they had with Garlic Jr. I thought that was really interesting. DBZ, I watched all the arcs. It was just something about just the fighting scenes with DBZ that was really cool, and just the energy blast. It was just like all this fast fighting, then you see them just crashing into stuff.
Not the fast fighting. They say you gotta keep up.
Yeah, and then the other show I want to mention is Yu Yu Hakusho. It was like, I think it was at the same time when DBZ came out, but it wasn't really popular. It was like, I already got DBZ, We got Yu Yu Hakusho. It came on right after, like on Toonami, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
what is this?
Toonami set the basis. Toonami set the basis for a lot of it. A lot of people will tell you that that's where, they kind of started from the Toonami aspect. I am a Toonami aspecter. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm not even gonna lie. A lot of people say like that first anime was Naruto. That may be so, but mine was Bubble Bo. You feel me? Mine was Super Fist of the Nose Hair. I'm talking gold fro, open the bro, and go. Like that's exactly what it was for me.
Okay.
But that, like I said, it set the basis. It really set the basis. And I know how to tussle. So anybody that want to argue, we can get it. You know what I'm saying?
The other shows that I finished that were really good, like you said, Dead Man Wonderland. I wish they would have did another season for that. They never really like the show did well. They just didn't never want to put out another English dub for it. Another show I would say, and this is like more on a superhero basis, because I like some of the superhero anime, I like some of the magic anime. It's My Hero Academia. I really got into that show. I remember a college buddy told me about it. I was like, man, he's like, yeah, you like Marvel and DC? I'm like, yeah. He like, that's pretty much what this show is. I'm like, dang, he has described it just right. I was like, this show is lit.
Okay. Can we say?
Yeah.
Can we say though?
Mm-hmm.
Because I want to say that my favorite superhero anime is One Punch Man. Can we call him the superhero basis type anime?
Yeah.
Can we do that?
Yeah.
Is that safe here?
Yeah.
Because I promise you, if you go in there and you look it up, my man is going to be down as a superhero.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
One Punch Man is hilarious. I love it because it has like a comedic aspect to it where it's like really funny.
Of course. I listen.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you go back to classics,
you
got stuff, that you used to watch, just eating the cereal like Voltron. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
People have forgotten about Voltron, and I can't let that disrespect continue. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah,
okay,
Vulture.
I can't let the disrespect continue. But yeah, definitely. But in those bases, I'm going towards One Punch Man. I'm going towards One Punch Man.
Okay. Hey, I'm with you on the One Punch Man. I actually do like One Punch Man. That's the difference between My Hero Academia and that's a little bit more comical, but with action in it, So I can definitely see that.
From here to San Francisco, it does not get any better than that.
Right. The next show I would like to say, it's a little different because I watch mecha anime too. Big O. Remember Big O?
Ooh, and Gigantor? Golly. Come on now.
I think the thing about Big O that was really interesting, he reminded me of like the guy Roger. He reminded me of Batman. He's like, except for he's not in a suit, he's in a mecha, like trying to save this city, Paradigm City. I'm like, yo, and then like the girl that's like his love interest, she's similar to Catwoman. I'm like, this is like the Batman animated if he was in a mecha.
The basis. That's all I'm saying is that these are setting the basis for all of these that are coming up because they have their versions over there, and then you know what I'm saying. They just decipher from which one, like
right.
All right, bro. Like, which one are we going for? You know what I'm saying? And we just so happen to like the animated version. I mean, I'm sorry, America. We love you, but the animations on both side over there just too good. Can't even argue with it.
Right.
That boy too good.
Yeah, but Big O definitely was something that I watched. The other show I completed, I definitely say Naruto, like you said. I just think Naruto, like for it, the show for what it was good. Like the first, like when he was younger, I felt like I fell in love more with Shippuden because it wasn't as many filler arcs. Like a lot of people don't know Naruto has a lot of filler arcs in the very first season. I'm just like, yo, is it ever gonna end?
A ton.
Yeah.
It has a ton of and at one point you're okay with it, because you just don't want the story to develop so fast.
Right.
And then after that, you're just like, oh no, bro, I can't do this. Like if you're like waiting to catch up and then you got all these episodes, you're like, damn, I'm missing like really important stuff. And you ain't missing a damn thing. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, I think with Naruto, it just like the first season just wore me out with the fillers. I love the main story, but the fillers, I'm like, yo, I know y'all could have chopped these fillers down just a bit for the show to like go on. But when Shippuden came out, they really kind of toned it down with the fillers. I'm like, yes, because I'm like, yo, I don't want to go through this again with this series.
Man, sitting there mad long, just trying to wait for somebody to throw something, you know what I'm saying? How long is it gonna take y'all to travel from the village to the city, beat some ass, and then come back? You know what I'm saying? Like deliver the message to the whole country. Like how long is this gonna take? Like we got things to do, places to be, people to see, and I don't got time for it. So definitely, but like I said, sometimes it's a balance. It's a balance between it because sometimes the filler arcs are good for certain occasions, and then other ones you just like,
right.
All right, bro, I didn't miss like 2 weeks of this. I don't feel like sitting through this.
That's true. Yeah, some of the filler arcs kind of connect to the main story, and sometimes they don't. I think the story that I liked the most out of Naruto with the filler arc was with the lady that had the crystal style jutsu. That was cold. I was like, this lady can produce crystals.
Yeah, I always gotta give it to my guy Zabuza because he had it.
Yeah.
He always had it. I'm so sorry. He always had it.
Yeah.
But when Killer B came along and was just like, I like that sword you got there. You know?
Yeah, Killer B was something else.
Hey, all I'm saying is we know who the real Hokage is. That's all I'm gonna say. I know who my Hokage is.
It's not his brother. Right. Yeah. And yeah. So the next show I want to talk to you about that I fully watched was what was the show? I'm trying to remember. I can't think of it off the top of my head. It's gonna come to me. I'll say Full Metal Alchemist. Yeah, that was Full Metal that was a pretty good show.
Yeah, and Brotherhood, both of them. Finished them off.
Yeah, it was interesting that they decided to make another version of that show. I'm like, wow, like the first one was really good, and then I'm like, wow, y'all come out with another one.
I feel like they had to keep going though. I feel like, because the one thing about that one, that story stretched out so far simply because of the fact that they had a lot of room to play with in Full Metal Alchemist. They had a ton of room to play with. Right. And I feel like they had to continue it. I mean, there was just so much stuff that me personally, I don't like to give like spoilers or anything like that. I always, if this was a spoiler episode, I would have put a disclaimer in that bad boy. You know what I'm saying? But I know people are still watching. But all I'm definitely going to say is that how they ended it off. It's just like how they end off every other anime. It goes towards a WTF, but at the same time, are you serious? Is this what
this
you leaving me with? So I feel like they had to give a little bit more construction to that. Like, but it's worth it. It is worth it. It is worth it. And I know how to tussle in case anybody disagrees. Full Metal Alchemist was that deal. I appreciated the storyline. How far they took everything. And we all know the one episode, we all know the fusion episode that we just
that was wild. That was wild. I was like, oh my god. That was a wild episode. I was like, whoa.
Talk about my guy, no way. Chill
out. Not your own kid. Yeah, it was wild. And I say the other show I watched, I didn't own it, but my friend owned the show, was Inuyasha. I did finish that, like the whole series. Yeah, that was really good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm on the darn, I forgot what it's called.
Yeah.
But I'm watching it on this streaming app called Peacock, and
Hmm.
it's the continuation. It's the next story.
Okay.
Inuyasha and Kagome and
Right.
the children. Like,
Yeah, I think it's called Yashimi. Is that it?
I man, look, Google is a blessing, isn't it? Hold on.
Right.
Because but we'll definitely figure it out. But yeah, it's a continuation
Yeah.
of Inuyasha. You know, everybody look, Sango then had all the babies.
Right.
He gave her plenty as he so always wanted to do. You
Yeah,
know,
Inuyasha
and
was the show I was introduced to by a friend, and they like, yeah, go check this out. Like, it's on Adult Swim. I'm like,
yeah,
okay, I check it out. Checked it out. I was like, that is pretty good. I didn't think I was really gonna be into it because it's like a romance anime with adventure and some other things too. But it worked. It was like, okay, this is not a super romance anime. This is more so like, okay, we got adventure, we got some comedy, we got some
yeah,
supernatural. I was like, okay, this works.
okay. And it was nice when you was up at
Yeah.
2 o'clock in the morning. Ain't have nothing to watch. You definitely had something to watch then.
Yeah,
Inuyasha
Inuyasha,
was that main go-to. That's why I'm like, I'm really appreciative of that. That got me through a lot of nights, man. Got me through a lot of nights. I'm trying to tell
yeah,
you.
it was a good series. I like what they did with it, and I seen the spin-off series with their kids. I think that was really interesting that they decided to go with their kids and kind of see what they could do to make it interesting and stuff. So I'm like, this works. It's different. You see Inuyasha's daughter kind of being like this, I guess you could say treasure hunter.
Yeah, she a gremlin, and I appreciate that about her. I do.
Yeah,
She a
so
gremlin. She a not. I mean, she full of nonsense, but
yeah,
she don't tolerate no nonsense. You know what I'm saying? It
right,
don't matter if the enemy's stronger than Little Mama or not. She's taking the blade to the like it's a wrap. Stop playing with
right,
her.
yeah,
And then like the other two, I believe there's Sesshomaru's twin, like his two daughters.
doors,
I was like, oh, he had two half babies.
right,
He was talking so much junk, like you
right,
half demon ass. You know what I'm saying? Now all of a sudden you got two half babies. Like, what's really tea with it? Man, that
yeah,
always took me out.
yeah, that did. I was like, dang, Stromer got kids. I'm like, dang. But now it make you wonder, did he have kids by the human that used to travel with him?
Listen, okay.
Yeah.
All I'm saying.
It do make you wonder. I was like, yeah. Yeah.
All I'm saying is that yeah.
Yeah.
You people talk that talk, but it's a whole different ball game on the other side.
Right. So here's my next topic with anime. Are you more of a filler arc person when it comes to stories, or are you more of a main arc type of person?
That's why I say
okay.
It's a balance.
It's a balance. Okay.
It's a balance.
Okay.
Because if I'm somebody who definitely vehemently wants to follow the show, I'll sit there and I'll watch the fillers. I won't have no problems with them. I'll sit there and I'll watch the fillers. But however, if it's like I'm trying to get caught up on it, I'll probably skip them. So if you take all that, put it in the box, shake it up, and come out with what it actually is, I'm probably a main arc person. Like, I'll just say main arc.
Okay,
man, the fillers are nice.
Okay, so it depends because, like, I like with Black Clover, their filler arcs connect to the main story. So I'm not like, sitting there scratching my head like, I don't remember seeing this in the manga. You know what I'm saying? So I'm kind of like, all right, but it works because it flows with the.
Wait, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I
so
was sorry. I was making sure we could see it on
oh,
YouTube.
okay. Yeah, so I like that if like with Black Clover, their filler arcs connect to the main story. With Bleach, I like their filler arcs. I'm not gonna lie to you about that. I love the Bleach filler arcs, but I felt like they came at the most unnecessary moments. Like it'll be a main story
Yeah.
filler arc, and I'm just like, no. Like, why are y'all doing this to us? You know, I'm just sitting there like, man, I was getting into the main story. Now we on a whole nother story, and I'm just like, type
Right.
cool
Right.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I was
Bleach
just
was
like, man.
definitely that. Bleach was definitely that one. Now I
Yeah.
don't think Bleach needed any filler arcs.
Yeah. So I'm
I've
hoping.
always said that. And Attack on Titan has
Yeah.
the most dialogue-y.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness!
Right.
If I Got You was a show, because you're thinking like we're right here at the main battle, we're right here at the main topic, let's get on it, let's get to it, let's go whoop some ass, let's do something, like what's
Yeah.
happening, who just died, and
Right.
feel it.
Yeah.
You just got people talking the whole time, like
Yeah.
I
And
don't get it,
then
I don't
like,
understand, throw it away.
yeah, then like with like I like with DBZ they had a filler arc, but the only filler arc they ever had was the Garland Jr. saga where he came back from the dead zone. So I was like, that was cool. I wasn't like, oh man, I gotta, you know what I'm saying? It was like just one arc before like Future Trunks came along. I thought they executed that real well. I was like, okay, yeah, he's back. Goku's in space, Vegeta's in space. It's
Okay,
just
yeah.
Gohan, Piccolo, and Krillin. You know, trying to save the world from Garner Jr. and the Spice Boys.
Listen,
Yeah, so
it's always gonna be Kid Boo for me. Might get it tatted on my heart. No, but honestly,
yeah,
Kid Boo.
yes. Yeah, so like with some, I like the filler arcs, like I said, with Black Clover, Dragon Ball Z, I would have to say either My Hero Academia. I like theirs because theirs is not a super lengthy like filler arc. It's like a couple like 3-4 episodes. I'm okay with that. But then it kind of leads into the movie with My Hero Academia. So it's more so like, hey, we got these filler arcs, but hey, we about to turn this into a movie. So you're like, oh, okay, I know the movie's about to be lit because like I seen the first movie. I'm just like, ooh, good. Second movie, good. Then I haven't seen the third movie, so I'm like, man, I know it's gonna be fire because the first two movies were really good. So I like that they executed in a different fashion. I was like, wow, like who was in the marketing room? Like, hey man, we gonna turn these little few episodes and then we gonna spin it off into a movie. I'm like, that was smart.
As they do with a lot of them, as they truly do with a lot of them. You got
yeah.
I think what's really getting clout right now is Jujutsu Kaisen and Demon Slayer. Definitely Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer is. I actually went to the movies to see. I actually went to the movies, actual theater, to go see that movie, and man, I'll say the experience there with that. It was just different. It was definitely different, and what they have coming to continue that series. Like if you haven't went to see the movie, guys, please go see the movie. Please.
Please. Yeah, I haven't seen Jujutsu Kaisen. I've seen a Demon Slayer movie. I like that it connects, like you said, to the actual series. Like especially you learn about my man's that had the fire sword and stuff. You learn a little bit more about him in the series compared to the movie. So I was like, okay, this is the type of person he was, and then he gets killed off. Then not Demon Slayer, Jujutsu Kaisen. Love the show. I think the movie it really helped because you get a chance to learn about the character that you're going to be introduced to later on in Jujutsu Kaisen with the prequel movie. So I think that was smart of them to say, you know what, we're not going to give you no special episode. We're just going to turn it into a movie. So I'm like, this is great. Like I like that they went with that approach for it. So yeah.
Oh yeah, like I said, the moment they take that, that's how you know it's going to new heights. I always said that. That's how you definitely know it's going to new heights. If they take that movie, if they take that show and it's
Right.
already going into a movie, bro, like it's up there. And
Yeah.
then they take, like you said, they always take it to the next level. They got money to play with. They like legitimately have
Right.
money to play with in these studios. So once they put that bad boy on a big screen,
Right.
it's a wrap. The tides of the anime have turned. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
yeah.
saying?
Anime been dominating the box office.
Oh, of course. And I'm
Yeah.
just actually glad that they're putting now I'm glad it's not select theaters, because I don't know if anybody remembers, like when they used to do anime and stuff, they only used to put it in select theaters. Now this
Oh
stuff is blown
yes.
up so much that we're able to really enjoy it in all of these platforms. And I'm excited about it. I don't know about anybody else, but I'm excited about that. That's always been a plus for me.
Right. Welcome to the live Living Beautifully. Thanks for tuning in.
What's
But yeah,
up?
so like I said, I like the filler arts. Sometimes I really don't, because if it's too many, it's kind of like I'm going through the series. I'm like, I lose interest in the show because like it's too many of them in one season, and sometimes it works where it's just like smaller filler arcs, and they do a movie on them or something like that. So I guess I'm like, maybe both. Yeah.
Right.
So yeah.
Like I
So
said,
the next
it's
one
the
I want to
balance.
talk, huh?
Like I said, it's the balance. It's all balance.
Yeah, that's true. So the next one I would like to say, if you had to choose between one of the two, 90s anime or 2000s anime.
Ooh, if I had to choose,
Okay.
if I definitely had to choose, I'm gonna go with 2000s, and don't tussle
Okay.
me, because I know how to tussle.
Okay.
I know how to tussle. And I only say that because there were a lot of things that came out in 2000, Samurai Champloo being one of them, that I was really intrigued by. I was definitely
Okay.
super, super intrigued by them. So, like I said, in the 90s anime, just that stuff you watch while you're eating at the table. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, some cartoons you grow up with and you pretty much definitely appreciate.
Okay.
However, those 2000s is when you're on your own and you're discovering what you truly like. And like I said, stuff like Host Club and Gurren, Code Geases, like those things, like they were coming out. You know what I'm saying? So it was like an anime fest, and I enjoyed it. I
Okay.
definitely did. So it has to be 2000. It's 2000s for me.
Okay. Okay. I'm not
2000s.
mad at you for that. I would say, like, for me, I'm gonna definitely say 2000s. I'm gonna tell you why. With 90s,
2000s.
when 90s was the start of it, but it seemed like when the 2000s came, we had more of a flux of like anime coming in, because the 90s was kind of like the start of anime popularity
Yeah.
in the United States. So it was like, all right, we got anime. And I think it's crazy because that was the time where Kids WB, that anime killed Kids WB pretty much. It was like RP, y'all not getting no Batman.
You mean Code Lyoko? We just gotta call it out what it is. You
Yeah,
mean Code Lyoko?
yeah, yeah. So pretty much, they had a lot more to offer. Like you had all these different genres. Like I said, with Bleach, you know what I'm saying? You had One Piece, you had all these different other shows, and it's just like, man, and there was so many other genres that you could watch. It wasn't just like adventure story, that's it. You know what I'm saying? With 2000s, you had Space Dandy, One Punch Man, Psycho Mob 100. You know what I'm
Man,
saying? You got Black Clover, Fairy Tale. So it's a lot of variety versus the 90s. You only had like a certain amount. Then it was like, okay, you got this little niche. But now in 2000, you got a little bit of everything.
they were a
Superheroes,
little restricted. They were a
huh?
little restricted.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say the 90s. They were a little restricted, and
right.
then they amped it up. They were
Yeah,
like, artwork was coming forward, submissions were happening, because we receive stuff here in the States quite a bit later than when it's actually released over there.
right.
So it'll already be released over there, and then it'll take us some time to really like catch up to it. So
Right.
You know, I'll say like plans were coming out. These guys were getting stuff done. So that's exactly why I would say 2000s had to be better. They start evolving. They start evolving a whole lot more.
Yeah. Yeah, just new stuff and new ideas, new animation studios, and yeah, I gotta say, 2000s definitely. You know, I gotta give 90s its props because that was the start, like how I got into anime. It's like, man, I watched Dragon Ball, then I got into all these other cool shows. Then I was like, all right, I'm still watching anime.
Right. Okay. I'm still going with it. Still gotta go
Right.
for it.
Yeah. So the next one is something I said, you know what, I'm gonna try this one out. Were you more of a sub person or you more of a dub person?
Sub baby, subs all day. Sub me, please.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
and that's only because like I heard this thing too. I heard this thing. They were just like, sometimes not all voiceovers are good. Just because it's not in your language doesn't mean it's good, you know?
Right.
But at the end of the day, I don't care what anybody says. With all these animes that I've watched, these voice actors have killed it in multiple ways in their language and all. Fluent, beautiful. Like, I enjoy it. But I'm definitely more of a sub person because
Okay.
I like to challenge my brain a little bit. I like to
Okay.
actually feel what you're saying to me.
Okay. All
I like
right.
to feel what you're saying to me. The voice actors that sometimes like to take over, I'll say and hey, gotta go back to the classics. I'll say Naruto's voice acting was good.
Okay.
Black Clover's English voice acting was kind of good.
Yeah.
There are a couple more now. Dragon Ball, to an extent,
Okay. Okay. Okay.
because no, yeah, no. There are a couple of. I was like, oh no, they need to switch that back to the other languages. Just put the subtitles for us, like. But yeah,
Okay.
I'm definitely a sub person. Can't live without my subs. I gotta watch them. I
Okay.
gotta watch and read at the same time. I need to challenge my brain just as fast as they up there fighting.
Right,
You
trying
know
to
what
figure out
I'm
what they're saying. Like, I'll say for me, I'm both. I do the sub, I do the dub. The reason why I say both because sometimes, like you said before, with the voice acting, to me, I agree with you on it to some degree that the sub, like, they really get intense with it. You just like, oh, that's what they're saying.
Okay,
But
definitely.
every now and then, you know, it's good to kind of see the English voice acting to see how well they did the character. I know for me, I kind of despise Black Clover when we first had Aston, when you first kind of met him as a character in the series. I'm just like, I can't stand this voice actor because all he was doing was screaming. I'm just like, no.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
so
was.
it was. Yeah, so it was kind of like, I don't know about this sub, you know, but you're right. There are some anime that to me have a better sub, you know what I'm saying, more so than the dub. Sometimes you get the dub, you're just like, hey, they ain't put no energy into this. They just reading lines. That's
They
it.
reading the lines straight off the script with no feeling. Like,
Right, no
your
emotion.
homie just died. You did it. There's no passion and behind the murderous intent that they
Yeah.
so generously drew in the eyes. Like, come on, man. Like, it's
Right.
disrespect. It's mad disrespectful.
Yeah, I think for me, I think Bleach had really good voice acting. I like the guy that voiced Ichigo, Johnny Bosch. Yeah, he really
Oh
does a
yeah,
good job.
we got to shout out to the goated voice actor of all time, Steve Blum. I can't like.
Okay.
Everybody can fight me on this, but Steve Blum has been the voice
Yeah.
of Spike, of
He was in Digimon too.
okay.
Season
Like
3.
Samurai Champloo, like Steve
Samurai.
Blum has taken it there, okay? He's
Yeah.
been everywhere, and then even advanced from that to actual movies. Like, come on, like goated actor of the lifetime. I'm just
So
gonna
he
say
did. I didn't know he did live movies. Dang, you put me on game. What?
Steve Blum has I gotta pull up his list. I gotta pull up his list because I'm not gonna tell anybody any wrong. But Steve Blum, I gotta pull up his list just because that's my guy. You know,
Yeah, when you said
that's my
I was
guy.
like, dang, I didn't even know that. I thought he just did. Wow.
Okay, yeah, no. He's actually done Cowboy. It says he done Cowboy Bebop. He's been in regular show. He's definitely been in regular show. He's been in Star Wars Rebels. He's actually been in Naruto a couple of times. X-Men, Lilo and Stitch. Yeah, Baki, he's been everywhere, yo. Everywhere. Like Steve Blum has voice acted for a very long time. Very long time.
Wow. Yeah, he has.
Yeah,
You're right.
go look him up, guys. Please.
Wow. Yeah,
show
that
my
is
man his respect.
Yeah.
Show it to him.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like, man, yeah, he's done a lot. You're right about that. Yeah, I was like, wow, when you said other stuff, I was like, they ain't know about that.
Oh yeah, he's expanded. He's not just staying to one category, which I appreciate. Like he's going for gold, man. He's going for absolute gold.
And it's money in voice acting, so I don't blame him. I wouldn't be surprised if you see him in a video game eventually.
He actually he is.
He is?
He's in a few games.
Okay.
Yeah, Steve Blum is actually you gotta look up the repertoire. He's definitely in a few games.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. He's not that guy's not playing around.
No, he's not.
He all his coin. All of it.
Right. Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that. Yeah, so the last thing I want to say for on the anime side too, we get to the Marvel side. How did you get into anime? Like, was it a friend, a cousin, family member, or you just randomly saw it on TV?
Yep, we gonna have to go for that randomly on TV.
Okay.
And it was definitely on the nights where, I'm not even supposed to be up, but I'm still up. I'm watching the TV and whatnot, and it was just like, okay, I was watching all these regular shows, and then all of a sudden, it was Saturday too. So that's why I say Adult Swim was definitely that first round of everything that I got. Okay. And Naruto was coming on Adult Swim at one point. So when it came on, like it was just like after hours. Hell, I didn't even know what time it came on. It was just like Cartoon Network went off and it switched because that's when I found out Cartoon Network and Adult Swim are the same. They're the same thing, man. Yeah. So this is a little bit more S-rated. Yeah, just that's why I said a lot of Cartoon Network shows, all you got to do is add a cuss word and it automatically becomes Adult Swim. Automatically. But yeah, man, I was just watching the TV, still up, not supposed to be up, and then it just flips. And I'm just like, what is this? You know what I'm saying? And I'm just sitting there, and all of a sudden, before I realized it, I'm through like 5-6 episodes of whatever I was watching. Like it was Naruto, and then it switched to like Full Metal. It was Saturday, so anime was coming out. Like the anime, it was anime day. Saturday was anime day.
Okay. For me, it was Dragon Ball was the first one I actually watched randomly on a Sunday. And I don't know, I just was fascinated with just how he was and how goofy he was as a character and all this stuff. Then they took it off WB because I eventually found out when it came onto Nabi why they took it off. I'm like, oh, some of these scenes are not kid friendly or kid appropriate. I was like, oh.
How about you think?
But then, I was, like you said, on Saturday, Adult Swim came on. Then, I got busted for watching Cowboy Bebop. I actually did a story time about it. And then I was like, what is this? Because, like, my friends told me about the show. And they didn't tell me it was going to be that graphic. I'm like, I got caught. And I'm just like, oh, man. I thought I was going to get in trouble because how graphic it was. I was like, what is this? I'm like, this is the anime that my friends told me about at school. I didn't know it was gonna be like this. I was thinking like
it on the homies.
Yeah, one of them got in trouble for watching it. I didn't.
Come on, listen, you gonna blame it on the homies?
Well, it was. They're the one that told me about it. It's like, hey man, you seen Cowboy Bebop? I'm like, nah, what's that? So like, yeah, it's an adventure, sci-fi type of thing. So I'm thinking like it's gonna be a little bit like, you know what I'm saying, maybe like Digimon or something like on a
Or something
scale
like
where it's
that.
not.
Yeah.
But I didn't think it was gonna be like that. But Cowboy Bebop I will watch. Then I will watch what was it, Big O. Then you had the other show, the Boondocks. I
Yeah.
can't forget
Boondocks.
about the Boondocks. I'm like, man, that was the show I used to watch on there. And then I just started to watch other stuff. Like, I think around the time that anime came out, well, anime started to become more popular in the 2000s. There were so many different shows. I started to get into Gundam, you know what I'm saying, all these other different type of genres. So it wasn't just like, okay, one genre, that's it. Like, no, we got multiple genres. We got supernatural, we got horror, we got mystery, we got
Yeah.
thriller. Yeah, so yeah, I think it was good that, I mean, I know I got busted for watching Cowboy Bebop, but I mean, I eventually revisited the series and I kind of understood it a little bit better. Watching it, when I did watch it, I didn't really understand it. I was like, why is this, are they all going through these things? And it's like, okay, they all kind of running from their past, but it's kind of coming back full motion, like Spike messing around with my man's vicious girl. I'm like, yeah, that man name just sounds terrifying, like vicious.
So whatever name just sound terrifying. Yeah. Now for
Yeah, I was
those,
just like, yeah, you don't mess with nobody named vicious. I was like,
jeez, man.
Yeah, so yeah, to me, with anime, like I said, I just like started to fall in love with the storytelling, the themes, and even the openings. So that for me, I've been watching anime since I was 7, and now I'm like freaking 32.
Man. It
Yeah,
just
so,
it just tends to stay with you, and that's good.
yeah,
Like I said, I tend to stay towards that more action, like horror stuff, like
okay,
Devil May Cry, like that right there.
yeah,
That one takes me over there yonder. Okay. Definitely. So
yeah,
it's
Tokyo.
just the ones that stick with you, because
Okay,
I'm not the mainstream animes. I've been getting into more, based anime, like
okay,
stick straight to the point, kind of. I mean,
okay,
I'm going to the school romance, but I'm more of the ones with the competition. Like let's get it.
okay,
I keep forgetting the name of it because I don't want to mispronounce it, but
okay.
it's the sock. It's the one where they're are they not soccer? They're playing what's it?
Basketball.
No, not basketball. Ah, gosh, volleyball. They're playing volleyball.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
so it's that one. That one's definitely good.
okay,
Haiku. Oh my goodness. They're gonna drag me on the tube for this one.
okay,
But yeah, no,
okay,
it's definitely more, but they tend to stay with you. They just tend to
okay.
stay with you as you get
Yeah.
older. And it doesn't even become about it being something like childish or anything like some people try to say. It's just what
Yeah,
you
because
enjoy,
back,
you know?
yeah, back in the day, boy, they used to be, oh, you watch anime, and like, ain't nothing wrong with it. Everybody got their thing.
It kind of runs in my family. My
Yeah.
aunt and my uncle, they're like brother that well the brother and sister, not like through married, like they're brother and sister. My aunt and my uncle, they were
Hmm.
definitely into anime. They still pretty much are. And then
Okay.
they're just like, oh, you like this too? And then my mom's like, oh girl, you just like them. Yes, I am. Yes, I
Yeah,
am.
my little cousin, he's gotten into anime, and I think it's from him when I was watching anime like on TV or on my laptop or something like that. Then my older cousin that's like down south, he's into anime too. So like I have other people that I can kind of talk to. Besides, some of my friends are into anime too, so
Right.
that works out.
Good to have some people that you can converse with, from
Yeah,
time to time. And
true.
and not one of those people. He can't beat Goku though. Like, come on, man. Like, I'm gonna slap you. That's what I'm doing. You can't beat me. Like, come on, like, come on, guy. Let's
Yeah,
not do that here. Let's love
right.
harmony.
Yeah, so that's it for the anime. So for Marvel, I'm gonna ask you this. What were some of the early Marvel films that you enjoyed and maybe why? You know.
You early Marvel films?
Mm-hmm.
What do I want to say?
Okay.
Because I have always been a Hawk and Thor.
Okay. Okay.
I've always enjoyed, especially the Incredible Hawk.
Okay.
My dad had like a bunch of movies. Like I promise you, he wouldn't buy anything that wasn't Blu-ray or anything like that.
Yeah.
So the movies that we would watch pretty much all the time would be either The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen or it
Okay.
would be Incredible Hulk. And
Okay.
he had every set. So one day I'm just sitting there and I'm just like, I'll watch this. Let me just
Okay.
sit back and with some snacks and watch this.
Okay.
When I tell you I fell for it immediately. It
Okay.
was just like that. And then I didn't feel quite the same until like Thor came out. I like I said, I like adventure. So
Okay.
going out and making it about a Narnia-based, like different type of atmosphere,
Right.
as you can see here, I'm in the ice mountains of my dojo,
Right.
so
Yeah.
we like those, but definitely, it had to be between like Hulk and Thor. Of course,
Okay.
I enjoy Blade, but hey,
Yeah. Okay.
I need the action, man. Like getting mad turn into a big green rhinoceros, yo. Like bucking. I'm talking about real buck.
Well, I would say, for me, I would say like maybe the early Avengers films. My mom, she's a big Incredible Hulk person, so I kind of can't say like, nah, I didn't like the Incredible Hulk movies. I would say I like the second Incredible Hulk movie that came out. I didn't like the first one. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, it could have been better. I get it. But the early Avengers, even the early X-Men films, like with Hugh Jackman, Patrick Stewart. I can't think of the guy that played Magneto, but gosh, I can't think of my man's name. But some of those earlier films, even with Captain America and also the early Spider-Man films with Tobey Maguire, I thought that was phenomenal for Sony to literally, they were the only ones doing the Tobey. Marvel wasn't even involved in that. I'm like, yo, Sony pulled this off, a whole trilogy.
Okay. Yeah, no, the Spider-Man movies did numbers.
Yeah,
all of them. I will say, I should have got some statistics together, but I want to say that Spider-Man, each time it came out, not except for, and I hate to say it, but the Andrew Garfield.
Yeah.
We love you, guy, but the box office.
So you're on the same page with me with Andrew. Okay, I got you.
I mean, my guy was good, but people give in too much to what people say about, how if we were doing a review on something we just watched, you know what I'm saying? Right. And then people give in too much to that. Oh, that movie was lame. Don't waste your money or go watch it. So they won't watch it instead of going for themselves. Okay. Or instead of wanting to be one of those people to go against the norm and argue. Like, I'll tell you in a heartbeat, I'll tussle with you. I like Andrew Garfield. Like, what's that?
You know what? I grew to appreciate him when he was in Tom Holland, the last movie. I felt like he was a little bit more, I don't want to say stale, but it seemed like his performance gotten better as a Peter Parker, I think.
It wasn't what they were used to. That's one thing I'll say. It was not what the people were used to. You know? Everybody, we love Toby. We love Toby, and then you had to go through a few Spider-Man. You know what I'm saying? Right. And of course, we got our last one, Mr. Holland. We appreciate him so much. Yeah, we do. Okay, right. Even though he took Zendaya from all of us, that's fine. But as far as that's all I'm saying. Like, every Spider-Man movie pretty much did well when it came out. Everybody wanted to see what it was about. It was Spider-Man that people were really much attached to. And I don't know if any of us have heard the story. I did. I forgot how. But Stan was saying that when he first actually brought the idea up about Spider-Man, they were just like, so you mean to tell me we're gonna talk about a bug man? Yeah, get this out of my face. Get this out of my face. Like Stan said this was rejected. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that it's blowing up in the manner that it has, the fact that people appreciate, I feel like they appreciate this more than anything. It was X-Men at first.
It was
X-Men at first. X-Men was taking over the scene.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah.
You got Spidey. So
yeah, you got Spidey, right? Yeah, I believe that Stan Lee went through some I ain't gonna say some challenges with certain movies to come out. I could definitely see that. Yeah.
But it was worth it. That's why I said all of his hard work was definitely worth it.
Okay.
I would say, like, I know some. I have a friend who really appreciates The Punisher, but I don't know. I feel like I really want to see a little bit more
Punisher. You got to see. Okay, so I got a question for you, Chan. Have you seen Punisher Warzone?
Punisher Warzone. No.
You got to see it, Chan.
Just the 2004. Just 2004 version. I've only seen.
Oh no, this is the one after that.
Yeah. No.
With Thomas Jane, he's playing the Punisher.
Mm.
It's really good. It's action packed. It's got a solid story, a nice amount of villains in it. I'm telling you, I think it's a hard PG-13. Yeah,
a hard PG-13 or a slight PG-13.
No, it's a hard. There's some violence in it.
All right. Hard PG-13.
Yeah, you gotta check out Warzone. I think you would love it because how action packed it is, and just the story and just the villains. Like it actually has one of the Punisher's main villains, Jigsaw. Yeah.
The Jigsaw?
Yeah. The dude with the puzzle face. He had all that. Yeah. Yeah. Right. But have you seen the Netflix series of Punisher with John Bethune?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, at least you saw that. I gotta give you some credit. You did see that, but you gotta see Warzone. I tell people all the time. That was another character that my mother liked from Marvel was the Punisher. I don't know if it was just his story on how he was defeated, he lost his family and everything. Maybe that's why she gravitated towards his character.
People really appreciate. We were just watching. It was something in my that I was streaming about the other day, and they were talking about why people in the culture pretty much praise fallen warriors over successful ones, and it's because of the storyline that it comes from. When you've pretty much lost everything and now you're getting back up on your feet and, you've had this great battle you fought with some honor, you know what I'm saying? Or some type of revenge. And then like gives him like real bad boy vibes sometimes. It gives him real bad boy vibes and everybody wants those. So that's why they pretty much kind of gravitate towards it a little bit more. A lot of people, see that reflective self in the movie, how they do.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So when you get a chance, tell me what you think of Warzone. I think you're really gonna like Warzone compared to the other version. Did you see the '90s version of the Punisher?
The '90s version of no, just the 2004, just 2004.
The '90s
was... I take that back. I have, but it has been a very long time. Because, like I said, my father was one of the people to really introduce me to. Once he found out that I enjoyed things like, and this not Marvel, like things like Along Came Spider, Watchmen, League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, Hellboy. When he figured out I liked all of that. Then that's when he started putting me on to all of the much older stuff. I think actually at that time, that's when we started watching Terminator.
Like, I saw Terminator
like movie for movie.
Yeah, that's understandable. Yeah, so let me know when you check out Warzone. I want to hear what you think about that because I think you'll really like the movie. It's like I said, it's a little different. But to me, it's the better part. I like the 2004 one. but I like the other version better. Like, dang, Thomas Jane really nailed the role as the Punisher. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I appreciate me a good acting scene. I'll tell you that
No,
now.
you know what? Not Thomas Jane, my bad. Ray Stevenson. That's who it is.
Ray
That's playing the
Stevenson,
Punisher.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, no, I was
Yeah.
thinking about that. And then Logan. Can't
Okay.
can't forget about his solo career.
Yeah.
We can't forget about his solo career. I feel
Right.
like Logan was really decent. You know, everybody has their Avengers and stuff. So I'm low-key trying to steer away from those. I appreciate those, don't get me wrong though.
Okay.
Like all of the Iron Man and the Avengers and the Spider-Mans, all of those I definitely appreciate. But I'm trying to Captain America's too. Like I'm just trying to steer away from those because those are the ones that people really do like. Oh, those are the regulars. So I was trying to deep dive into some other stuff that people really truly don't know about.
Okay.
Rumor has it, Ghost Rider also is a part of the Marvel category. I love the first Ghost Rider. The second one, Idris Elba is the only thing that made it to me. But other than that, no. I couldn't. I was like, what is this? The first one was fine. I don't need anything else. Why are you doing this to me? This is so disrespectful.
Right. I'll say the other movie that I forgot to mention that was early, Elektra. I actually like that with Jennifer
I was getting ready to say Elektra. That's what I was getting ready to say next. Elektra, surprisingly, that surprised me too. I was like, and I think I found this out probably about a year ago because I was watching it. I was like, this is a Marvel movie? I was like, I've been watching this for so long. Like, and that's one of the movies that I can honestly say, when the channels like WB50 and stuff was out, those are the movies that would come on. Like that and multiple times. So I'm sitting there like,
yeah, Elektra used to always come on FX all the time.
Yeah, I'm like,
oh, dang. I remember growing up with grandma's house. I'm like, dang, like Elektra on again. They played the mess off that movie. I was like, dang. Like it was a good movie though. That was the only Jennifer Gardner role that we got. Her playing Elektra. I actually liked her movie more over Ben Affleck's Daredevil. I didn't really like Ben Affleck as Daredevil. Good actor. I just didn't feel his role.
Yeah. Wait, isn't he Batman though?
Not anymore.
Yeah, he was a Batman, right?
Yeah, he was a Batman. Yeah.
See, that's just the thing. I can't. No.
I liked him as Batman, as an older Batman. He was okay. He was better than George Clooney.
Listen, Christian Bale is the only person that I see, and I know this is not Marvel, y'all. We didn't move to DC because this has been the great debate for a long time. I feel like Christian Bale was made for what Marvel is now today. I feel like his look, his image, his eeriness, his take on the role, all of that. I feel like that makes him the perfect Batman. And then you're not just gonna let us see him train in the cave like that and just swoop Batman up on me. Come on now.
Yeah, I like Christian Bale. I think he's definitely one of the out of the younger actors that played him. I like him. I actually like the new guy, Robert Pattinson. I didn't think I was gonna like him as Batman. He plays a different take on him. He plays this drugged up playboy. And I was like, dang, this is different. You know what I'm saying? It's not like how it is where he's the ladies' man, all the ladies like, Bruce. I'm like, yeah, okay, I like this. It's a little different, but it kind of shows you how some people that have wealth, some of them do be drug addicts to some degree,
Right.
Yeah,
right.
so I was like, okay. Yeah, so yeah, Christian Bale, I do like him as Batman, but still my favorite old Batman would have to be Ben. I didn't like George Clooney at all. I was like,
listen, it's about the OG Adam West. You heard?
Oh yeah, Adam West.
It's about the OG.
Yeah,
I
Adam
don't
West.
like nobody else. I like Adam West.
Yeah, Adam West was too.
Adam West, yes.
Yeah, he was too. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, but between, like I said, between the old Batmans, yeah, Adam West and like I said, Ben Affleck, new Batmans. I like I said, Christian Bale. I do like Robert Pattinson playing Batman. Like I said, he gives a different take. That was my only thing about. Like I know we talk about DC. I think my only thing about it, I was like, dang, they doing another Batman movie. And I'm just like, how they gonna nail like Bruce Wayne this time around? Because we have seen so many versions of Bruce Wayne. I'm just like, okay, I don't want to see too much Playboy Bruce Wayne. Like we know he's a ladies' man, we know that already. But can we get like a real, like a person that's acquired well? You see that he's kind of drugged out, he's tired, he don't want to be bothered with nobody. I was like, that's what I'm talking about.
That's the Batman they deserve. That's
And Gotham
exactly
was
the
so
Batman they
cringy.
deserve.
That's what I loved about the Batman. It was so cringy. It was so dark. It felt like Gotham. I was like, dang, this looks pretty dark. I was like, man, people look like they're struggling. I was like,
okay,
this is Gotham.
This is what Gotham is truly committed to. Okay.
Yeah.
But listen, we gotta switch back to Marvel because we're gonna get so deep into listen. Because let me
We're
tell you,
going back to
that has
Marvel.
been the great debate. That Batman one. You're
So
gonna hear more about it. You're gonna hear more about it.
Okay. So for Marvel, what are some of your favorite villains from Marvel, whether it's movies or TV shows?
As far as villains go,
Mm-hmm.
I can't really say. The thing is, I can't really say. And what's crazy is that I'm team villain.
Okay.
I am. I'm definitely mostly team villain. You're gonna have to take my word for it, and we're gonna have to go with originality. But my man, Green Goblin, come on now. I gotta stay with the Gremlin. And I know there are a ton of villains within the Marvel universe.
Okay.
I understand. I understand.
Okay.
You gotta understand, Goblin got something about him. Okay? Not only does he have a hoverboard, okay?
Yeah.
And 2 people inside his head, but he was a businessman.
Yeah.
Okay? And he was literally like one of those people that you say you start off as somebody who's, just curious. Now you got to watch yourself really become this villain. You got to watch yourself really become this villain. So I really appreciate him.
Okay.
I really do. I really do. And if anybody want to tussle, you already know where to find me. You know what I'm saying? I'll have a few more for you, probably.
Okay.
But Green Goblin, yes,
Green
sir.
Goblin. Okay. So for me, I don't know. You got any more?
Go ahead. No,
Okay. So for me, I would definitely say like these are from different Marvel movies and TV shows. I'm gonna start with the movies though. So for movies, I say Magneto, and a reason why I say Magneto is one of them is because like a lot of people don't know, and I found this out a couple years ago. Magneto's character, if you really paid attention to S-Man, it was like, man, it made so much sense. Like Professor S was like Martin Luther King, and pretty much Magneto was more like Malcolm X. I was like, yo, I would have never and Stan Lee confirmed it, like, yeah,
never mind,
yeah, I never would have just been like, you know what? Man, this is dope. Like, I never knew it because it was something about Magneto, but I didn't know what it was. I like him as a villain. I understand a little bit of his logic, why he's doing the things he's doing. Charles, you shouldn't be doing that.
You
should. And I love how Magneto gets people to join him. Like, he's so convincing. And I love I remember I think it was the first S-Man film that came out in the early 2000s. Remember when Wolverine tried to fight him? Like, what do you think you're doing? He's like, I was like, oh, don't kill him, no. Oh, it was just something about his character that was very interesting. I like Magneto as a villain. You understand why him and Charles kind of fell out because their ideologies. He's like, oh man, let's protect the humans. He like, nah, man, screw this. We ain't protecting these humans. You know what I'm saying?
That leads me. That definitely makes me think of
Yeah.
It gives me a Killmonger
Yeah.
and T'Challa type deal.
Right.
But just it's on a different level because they actually have some. They actually have some mind stuff that they can do over there. They fuck your mind up. But
Right.
over with Killmonger, and T'Challa, it was about family. It was about family rights. You know what I'm saying? Another
Right.
one of those things where I'm just like, watching yourself become the villain.
Right.
Venom, like villains like Venom and Kingpin, like all of those, like those they wanted to be evil. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? With me,
Yeah.
like I said, that's why I picked Green Goblin.
Okay.
Osborn, that's his name, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. You talking about William Dafoe, right?
Huh?
William Dafoe that played Green Goblin, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I like I said, I appreciate him because at least at one point he wanted to be. You know what I'm saying? It was
Yeah.
a gradual decrease. But
Right.
everybody else, they was already born. They was like, I'm born into this lifestyle. I'm gonna annihilate these humans. They ain't nothing but a bunch of dirty low lives. So but
Right.
I really appreciated that. I mean, I know there's some more backstories coming from it,
Right.
but you have to give it to Osborn. You gotta give it to
Okay.
him.
So the next villain I would like to say is Killmonger. I like Killmonger's, like his story was very interesting. You know what I'm saying? Like he finds out his family don't know nothing about him. He feels like an outsider. I like that he tried to tell T'Challa like, hey, this is what's going on, all this stuff. I love how he portrays Claw. Like he literally, and like remember the scene in Black Panther with his girl. He's like, yeah, I got your girl. Like, man, I ain't thinking about her. He let her get
Come
shot
on,
up.
get that every day. What's up? What's next?
Yeah, so pretty much he like, I don't care if you do something to her. And then just him finding his way into Wakanda, like he brought Claw's body back to my man T'Challa's friend, his homeboy. And he's like, hey, look, I got him right here. I'm like, dang, like he was so assertive.
He was so assertive.
Yeah, he was. He was getting the job done. I was like, dang. I was like, okay. I'm like, I see. But then you see, like you said, the differences between Killmonger and T'Challa. You know what I'm saying? Killmonger, all his life, he's dealt all this different pain. Even when he goes to Ancestral Plane to see his father as a kid again, I was like, wow, the trauma in that. You know what I'm saying? And your father not being there. You know what I'm saying? Due to your uncle killing your father. That was like the family secret. Yeah. So
that no one knew, and it was
no one knew.
For a reason, like they always say, it was always for a reason.
Right.
It's always, but it's all in the family.
Right. It's all in the family. Right. True that. So my next person, I would say, you already kind of mentioned him already, is Green Goblin. William Dafoe, man, I tell you, it's crazy, but
yeah, that man, his flowers are here.
He is the best.
Saying?
Right, he's the best Green Goblin, man. And I was so glad that they gave him the opportunity to come back for Spider-Man No Way Home. Like, yo, we can't have a Spider-Man movie without him returning, you know what I'm saying, for another sequel, I think, like you said, with his performance and just him having like this, his darker side to him, he's like, you know what I'm saying, Harry, and all this stuff. His voices, you hear the voices in his head, and he's looking at the mirror.
Bodies
you forget about me. And I love like how
real life.
I love how creepy he was when he was fighting Spider-Man. The ICBC Spider came up the water spout. Down came the rain.
my man, especially in the last one. No, yeah, the last one. He definitely brought it in. And I think he was telling somebody, "I'll do it if I can do all my own stunts." I was like, this guy is a classic.
You can tell that
acting chef's kiss.
Yeah, and he's definitely like I said, I like how you can see that he struggles internally. him, running his Oscorp. Then he got the son, and then he finds out Peter's secret. I thought that was really well executed. I was like, this is really cool.
Okay. The most
Yeah.
comedic one to me, however,
Yeah.
like the most comedic villain to me, it would be Loki.
Okay.
It definitely would be Loki.
Okay.
Wait, do I want to? I'll say Loki. I'll say
Okay.
Loki. He's the most comedic. And wait a minute, can we even put him as a villain anymore? I mean, because he did turn the tides for the good, but
Yeah.
we still call him a
You
villain.
can still consider him a villain.
Team villain. All right,
Yeah.
all right, team villain.
Okay.
I won't even say Thanos because I feel like Thanos is everyone's. I feel like that's everyone's go-to. Like Thanos, he snapped half the world away. What other villain can you get there? And I'm just like, I don't know. Ultron probably.
Yeah, the next villain I would like to say, and I was so glad that they finally put him in a Spider-Man film, Mysterio. I love how they introduced him in Spider-Man Far From Home. He's like, and I think with the Spider-Man from the Spider-Man Home movies trilogy, they all had like different issues with their job to some degree, except for the third movie. Right. Like with Mysterio, he was a failed Tony Stark employee. So he had like this vendetta against Stark Industries, and he's like, "Yeah, I got fired from here." He got people trying to, rally up with him to like work with him and stuff. Yeah. And then what made it so interesting was they picked the perfect person to play him. Jake Gyllenhaal nailed it. I was like, yeah, oh, this guy nailed it. I was like, yo, you can understand his frustration being fired from a job and literally wanting to get revenge. He's like, oh, y'all fire me? I got y'all. I'm gonna hire everybody that he fired to my team. I was like, dang.
I want to fire everybody.
Yeah, he hired every person that Tony fired. And I thought that was really interesting. I'm like, dang, that's kind of smart. Like, he literally just said, hey, you been fired too, Bob? Oh, yeah, come on over here, man. I got some money for you.
But see, that has like filler arcs too, because a lot of people are out to get a vendetta against Stark because of the war that they had. And the only thing that you saw in the rubble were weapons provided by Stark Industries. You know what I'm saying? And that's what they're not going to tell you. But that's why a lot of these people are coming, like these villains are starting to be created and born because they don't know what really happened in the war. All they know is that, my brother, sister, cousin, mama got killed. And the last thing I seen was a missile from Stark Industries. So I'm about to take this missile, reconstruct it, and build a suit. And it's harder for you.
Right, and the cunning thing about Mysterio, he was using Tony Stark's technology to make the illusions to fight Spider-Man. I was like, okay, this is cunning. I was like, this dude literally like, all right, I'm gonna hire your people that you fired. I'm gonna have them use your technology so I can learn how to use these illusions and stuff. You kind of felt bad for Mysterio, towards the end when Peter killed him, because you could see that he wanted to change, but he still had that hatred for not just Peter, but for Tony Stark as well. He's like, yeah, this is, that's your mentor and you're his pupil type of thing. He's like, man, I ain't trying to be bothered with that.
I ain't trying to hear all of that. But the way it developed for the next, it did a wonderful job. That's why I said Spider-Man. Yeah. Spider-Man going from there, people are definitely going straight for the box office for that movie. And if you get 1 inch of it wrong, I swear the Spidey bases, they making webs, bro. They making webs. They making webs. They probably worse than the Barbies.
So the next villain I would like to talk about is Michael Keaton's villain, Vulture. I really like that we finally got someone to play Vulture. I love how he found out about how Peter was Spider-Man. Remember the car scenes in the car? Doors in the car? He's like, you're Spider-Man. Like he left it, like he tried to like play it off like, what are you talking about?
What you mean? Ain't nobody that. What you mean?
Yeah, I liked him playing it because this is the other thing. Like I said, with the home trilogy, they had pretty much they dealt with losing their job. So the only reason why Michael Keaton's Vulture resorted to a life of crime was because he got fired from his job. He was the person that was helping clean up the debris from the Avengers, pretty much, and he ends up getting fired. So then he starts to work with all these other criminals, and I was like, it kind of made sense. It's like, well, he pretty much is like, I'm fed up with this, and maybe he just got tired of the life that he was living, and then he just ends up becoming Vulture. I was like, this is really crazy. But I think Michael Keaton.
That war is that war. That war calls everybody. Now you got to clean up after them. I'm sick of this. I'm gonna go after the Avengers. Somebody gotta die.
Right. So I did like his performance for Vulture. I was hoping, I kept saying to myself, like it would have been so dope because I know Mysterio wasn't from that Earth. That him and Vulture would have been. I know originally they were supposed to have been in Spider-Man No Way Home. I think if they would have been in that film, that would have been a 5 or 4 hour film if they would have added them into that. Because it was already a long movie. And I'm like,
they would have had to add some extra developments, and then they got to create that storyline for it, and then they got to piece together that, and then the fight scenes is just like, hey, at this point, y'all outmatched.
Right. Yeah. So I think he did a really good job. Hopefully, because I know we're gonna get some more Spider-Man films with Tom Holland. Yeah, we see maybe another version of Mysterio. Hopefully, Jake Gyllenhaal returns for that role because I really did like him, and maybe Michael Keaton, maybe another Vulture from another universe. Hopefully, possibility.
Maybe. They've been doing this universe thing back and forth, so
yeah,
and they bringing stuff back, solidifying old stuff. So it ain't no telling what we gonna see. It ain't no surprise no more. It ain't.
Right. Now the next villain, I gotta give props to. I mean, it's very. I know it's a popular choice. Thanos. I gotta give it to Thanos because I remember seeing Avengers, Infinity War, and him duking it out with the Incredible Hulk, and Hulk got scared. I was like, oh. I said, "Oh my God, even Hulk scared." Hulk was taking them hits like.
It was tragic. It was to the point he wouldn't even, he couldn't even transform no more.
He was,
and that had to be one of the saddest moments for me because I was just like, nah, Hulk always smash, bro. Like I can't see it any other way. And now I'm sitting up here looking at this man afraid.
Right.
Like, oh nah, bro.
Yeah, he was like,
what you doing, man? Defend our honor.
Right. It was so funny because he would try he's like, oh,
and it wouldn't happen. like my man Kanye said, ain't gonna happen.
Right.
Ain't gonna happen.
And it was so crazy because I was sitting there like, dang, poor Hulk, man. He out there to die pretty much. I was like, man, he couldn't turn into him. I was like, oh my God. And I think with Thanos was because I remember I went to see his movie twice. So like with Thanos, you're like, dang, you kind of understand his logic a little bit. You're like, okay, he's trying to really save the Earth's population, like by really getting rid of a lot of people. But I gotta say, the scene where he's like off with his head, that was wild. And I just think with Thanos, like when he defeated the Avengers, because I was like, man, we gotta get a superhero movie. And I mean, we see it sometimes in some of the other superhero movies where they lose, like officially lose. And you feel so bad. You like, yo, Spider-Man go, he ain't got a race. What's the name? Vision go, he took the stone out his head. And we see like a devastating loss. Like he had lost half the population. The Avengers don't know what they're gonna do. And then you see Thanos gonna live his best life. I mean, with to be a farmer. I'm like, dang, bro, like I just want to live a solid, so I'm gonna be a farmer. I'm done. I don't even want to fight y'all.
He was plucking them one by one, and it was so swiftly. Like
Yeah.
He been studying. You can tell that he been studying what everybody who possesses it. He knew each location, especially the illusion that he gave. I was like, I really thought we beat man's down. I really thought we took him down. And then it was just like, nope, gotcha. Give me the stone.
He was very calculated. I gotta give it to Thanos. I'm like, boy, I mean, he had his children either fighting with him and stuff. Like, dang, had the one dude with the little needles and stuff. He's like,
yeah. They were putting in work. They were putting in work, and I definitely could appreciate that. Okay, they was putting in work.
I was like, dang, I'm like, either the Avengers got a chance. I'm like, he got his other kids coming in trying to fight and stuff. Yeah, so I gotta say Thanos. Yeah, Thanos was definitely calculated. And like I said, him erasing these people and just defeating people, I'm like, man, oh man. And then, you know, with Tony, boy, that was devastating. You know Tony was gonna die. Like, ah! I was like, man. Yeah, okay. So I gotta give it to Thanos. Thanos definitely, even with Star-Lord, remember the scene where with Star-Lord, Spider-Man, they was having a hard time fighting because he was figuring out where they was coming through from the portals and stuff with Doctor Strange.
We all know. We can't even go past the name Star-Lord without saying it's his fault. It's gonna always be his fault. Star-Lord, not anymore. Not anymore, son. Star-Lord, what? Nah.
Yeah. And then I think with Thanos, man, like I remember this scene that was supposed to be in the movie. Remember, I don't know if you've seen it, where it's like he's in one of the Infinity Stones, and you see like a younger Mori, like, what did it cost? Everything. I was like, holy crap. I was like, wow. I said, man, they had to put that in the film. That would have been interesting. I don't know how they would have threw that in there. It's like she already kind of, you know, not necessarily died, but it would have been interesting to see where they would have fit that in. I was like, man.
Okay. It definitely would have been interesting.
Yeah. So that's my ones for like movies. And I'm going to talk to you the ones about TV shows. So for TV shows, I got to give it to my man's Kang the Conqueror from Loki.
Yeah.
I think he was a very interesting villain because we didn't know who was running the TVA. Like, who's running this organization?
Who's running this organization, yo?
It's like this mystery organization. You're like, so who's really behind this? For a minute, when I watched the episode when we were introduced to Kang the Conqueror, I thought it was the clock. I was like, oh, the little cute clock, she's running this. Because, you know, she always used to be in Loki's ear. You shouldn't be doing that. What are you doing here?
No, you shouldn't be. No, it was the nagging for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was a slight nagging for me.
Yeah. Yeah. So with Kang the Conqueror, it took them a while to kind of figure out what his motive is. And then he took the win. Like, they didn't realize it. Like, he went back to the TVA and he's like, dang, what happened? You see all the Kang the Conqueror faces. He's like, and they don't even remember who he is. So I'm like, dang, bro, I already won. It's like, you went back to this organization. They don't even know who you are no more. Like, you erased from this memory or this reality, Loki. So I was like, yikes.
I like that. I love their adaptations. I always do. Do you think they can't take one thing and then implement it to make it a little bit better? Yeah. The adaptations of it were so cool, though. I definitely appreciated that, man. I couldn't. Yeah. It was only a few Marvel animations that I was actually. That's actually how I really got into X-Men, because I seen animations first. So like, but with those, that's why I said they definitely took that basis. They definitely took that basis. So real life adaptations of it and all of that with the movies coming out. Oh, the kid in us. Right.
He's supposed to be in Ant-Man 3, Kang the Conqueror. I don't know which version, but he's supposed to be in that.
Okay. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna be in attendance. Hey, everybody, whenever a Marvel movie pops out, Marvel like, hey y'all know what time it is. And everybody's with their satchels of coins at the movies. You feel me?
Yeah, so we'll see him again in that. And that's really I want to talk about. And this is, I don't know if you've seen Luke Cage, but Bushmaster. I love that villain. He had a tragic story, but I liked how he analyzed Luke Cage's fighting style. He went and literally he actually had a TV just to observe Luke Cage fighting. So I'm like, he was a boxer or something. Like, my man really analyzed him and said, you know what? I'm gonna go whoop you up.
I'm gonna whip you up, my guy.
I was like, wow.
Real quick, my guy.
And then one thing about Bushmaster, he was like the boogeyman to the villains. He was kind of like, oh, you don't want to mess with him. I was like, yeah, we know why. He mean business. Yeah, but you learn about his story, and I think you started to understand, like, he came from a place of violence a little bit, but then it kind of amplified when he came to New York and Harlem, you know what I'm saying? Because now he's after Luke Cage. He's like, oh, this is who I want to fight now. You know what I'm saying? I seen you on TV whooping up people. Now it's my turn, pretty much.
So now it's like I said, everybody coming with a vengeance. They always gotta have that animosity, and it's either they trying to prove something to themselves, or you didn't disrespect the family. That's
right. It. And then I would say after him, the Daredevil villain, oh my god, remember the old lady that Daredevil fought? Madam something, gosh.
It's the old lady.
Yeah, she was the one of the head of the hand. I can't think of her name. She was Madam something. And I was like, yo, this old lady is crazy.
Madam Gao?
Yeah, Madam Gao.
Gao? Is that how you say it? Gao?
Yes, she was something. She was something. Like, she was something else. Like, you would think like she's just this cool old lady, just, telling Matt about himself and stuff. She's like, nah, bro, I'm gonna introduce you to me, and we gonna have some problems. She sent my man's Nobu to kill him. Nobu had a hard time killing him. I was like, boy, she was just like hardcore with it. She's like, all right, well, you can get the job done. I got another ninja for you. I'm like, dang. Like,
listen,
yeah.
It was doing all of that in a nice little leather latex suit.
Right. And she was so like calm about it, like, Matt, we can make differences, and just like she literally was trying to get him to come on his side, like, you could join us, and he's like, nah.
It was that Yakuza energy. That's what that was. It was definitely that Yakuza energy. Like,
yeah, she was something else, boy. I said, boy, she knew how to send them ninjas, boy.
Tell me what she knew how to send them ninjas.
She did.
Came in no remorse.
Right. The other villain I would like to say, and this is another Daredevil villain, Bullseye. I really, don't get me wrong, I like Colin Farrell's Bullseye, but it wasn't my favorite. I felt like with the Daredevil series season 3, I love this Bullseye. He's been through a lot. He had a failed relationship with this girl he was dating. He ends up killing her. He's kind of creepy though, because he ends up keeping the dead body, and he's frozen. I'm like, dude.
Character development, they need a reason.
I'm like, this dude literally is in this car, in his actual car, riding around with a frozen dead body. I'm like, what the heck? And then on top of that, I think with his character, you understood his struggle. He was never appreciated by people. Like I said, even his ex-girlfriend, she didn't really respect him. Kingpin, like, man, you a little bit too crazy for me. You keeping dead bodies in the car. And like, what's going on with you? And then you kind of see him wanting to have like this hero like thing going on where he pretends to be Daredevil, but Daredevil finds out like, nah, that's not really me. He killing people and stuff like that. Like Daredevil, he like on this Batman, like, I ain't killing these people. This somebody else, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you kind of see like the complexity of him as a character. You see he feels alone, he's kind of isolated. He's hired by Kingpin. They fall out. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, dang, like this dude went through so much compared to the other one. The other one, he's like, yo, man, I'm throwing, I'm throwing glass here and there. I'm throwing pencils. No,
But
it's
see, like that's why I said when it comes to when they start putting them in shows, then they have to put that death in there. That death for that character has to be placed in there because so you give them more of a reason. They got to have some type of backstory.
Yeah,
and if they plan on recreating like they have done so many times already,
right,
then they're going to switch the story up within it. You know what I'm saying?
right.
It's not going to be the same, and more than likely, they're probably going to come out with another movie based on.
Yeah, I think they will. I think they actually will, like you said. I know Daredevil, there is a season 4 coming out on Disney Plus. I did hear about that. I don't know if we're gonna get a movie right away. I think maybe we'll see how well the show does. If the show does well, we probably will get a movie. But for right now, I know the guy that played him, Charlie Cox, by far my favorite Daredevil actor because I didn't really care for being playing him. He's returning. I'm glad he's returning. The only thing I'm a little worried about, because I did hear this at some point, they lost their actual writer for Daredevil, so there's going to be a new writer when they do get Daredevil due to some other issues dealing with the comic and also some controversy as well too. But like I said, that and then the cast, I heard that the cast may not be returning, like the people that played Froggy, Deborah, you know what I'm saying? Like, nah, y'all gotta bring them back because it's not gonna be the same. You know,
unfortunately.
So I hope that they worked out their differences so they can return for the series because I would love to see them come back. I'm like, I like these people playing these characters, and you're like, you get a whole new cast. You're just like, I remember Deborah being this, you know what I'm saying, short like this, or Froggy being this way. But it's good to see that Daredevil is definitely coming back. I just don't know exactly when it's coming back. But yeah, like you said, with the villains and stuff, definitely. The next villain I want to get to with TV series, I'm gonna go with what is my man's name? Arthur Harrow from Moon Knight.
Moon Knight.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the one you're gonna have to talk to me about because that's one that's
So Ethan Hawke plays the character Arthur Harrow. He's like the previous avatar of Moon Knight. I really liked Ethan Hawke playing the villain. I never thought I would see the daylight.
Oh, he's good. Yeah, that man's good.
He plays
the acting skills.
He plays this cult leader to this group that's like he has these followers. He has like this cult vibe to him. Even the way he dressed, he is kind of cultish. I think he's really doing a good job playing that character. He's kind of like judge and executioner because he has like the scales, like it deals with like kinetic religion or spirituality. So what it is, like pretty much he bases it based off your morality. So like say for instance, if your heart is too tainted, you just instantly die. He's like, oh, let me see what the scales do. And he just looks at his wrist, like, like the scales told me this.
Scales talking about.
I'm like, dang, so if your heart tainted, you just died. Like he ended up killing this old lady. She's like, he's like, yeah, let me see your hand. He touches her hand. Then after that, she dies. I'm like, dang. I'm like, bro, I hear with the scale. Like, all right, yeah, we gonna see if you're a good person or a bad person. Are you a bad person? Oh, you gotta go. I like how he interacts with Moon Knight, also known as Stephen Grant, because literally, even at Stephen's job, he's in trouble because some of his members work at his job. Like, I'm like, my man's got people
Again, I say the workplace is the most toxic place you can be in.
I was like, dang. I said, my man's got people working at the job. I'm like, dang. I was like, because he's like, yeah. He's like, Stephen Grant, let me see what your scale is. He said, the chaos in you. And I'm like, so you're just not going to die. Like, you got too much chaos going on. So he does actually come across him. But I like that Ethan Hawke talks about pretty much because he's Arthur Harrow for the villain for Moon Knight. That literally talks about like, oh yeah, Conju, oh he's a big liar. He tells him, he's like, oh Conju told me this, Conju told me that. I'm like, dang, bro, like he know your avatar because he already told him all this stuff. He's like, yeah, did Conju tell you one more time, just one last time, and that's gonna be it. And Conju having to fit because he is the moon god and in Moon Knight, and he's like having a fit. He's like throwing stuff around. He's like, what's going on? And you can look around, you see Kanji's like kind of mad, like, can't believe this guy used to be my avatar.
Okay. Listen.
Yeah, so with his character is very interesting because he's kind of comes off as kind of creepy. And also just him like how he knows how to get under people's skin. Like in the last episode of Moon Knight, he got under Moon Knight's girlfriend's not girlfriend, wife's skin. He's like, oh, you didn't know? He's like, he was there when your daddy died. I was like, dang. he judged her. He's like, yeah, I'm sure you don't know this about Mark because that's his other personality. He's like, oh, Mark was there. I was like, dang. Then he gave it to me. He's like, yeah, he was there with some other friends. And, pretty much he was there when your daddy died. He's like, and she was so mad. Like, you could see the look on her face, like, how could you be there and not try to stop it? But then when when his other personality came out, I said, hey, look, I was there. I got double crossed too. It wasn't supposed to go down like that. I wanted to save your father. So the real reason why Mark married Layla was more so because I guess he felt guilt. You know what I'm saying? Because he couldn't save her father. Like, he didn't love her. It was more so like, maybe this is the way to kind of cope with this pain, to kind of have to deal with her on a daily basis. Because originally, like a couple episodes before that, she's like, hey, we getting this divorce. But she starts to have a change of heart for his other personality within him. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so
that sounds like something definitely everybody needs to get into. Okay.
Yeah,
definitely sounds like one of those things, one of what you call binge worthy. All right.
It is. There's only a few more episodes left too. It's only like 2 more episodes, 6 episodes.
Hey, listen, and that gives people the perfect opportunity who've always wanted to just catch up. And if it's only 2 more coming out, right, you ain't gotta wait for no episode to come out. You got all of them just the way you want them, right there.
Right. Yeah. So like I said, Ethan Hawke, I think he's doing a really good job playing the villain. He knows how to get under people's skin. He's got this cult following. They're everywhere. You don't know who's who. And just him learning, huh?
I said the secret society ones. Secret society
right.
members. Yeah.
Kind of similar to the League of Shadows to some degree. He should have so many members. Yeah.
that registers as something. That I understand.
Yeah, because they're everywhere. You don't know who's working for them or not. It's like, oh, okay. But definitely one of my other favorite TV show villains. The other one I'm gonna mention, I don't know if you've seen this show, but I'll throw it out there. Hawkeye, Echo.
Yeah.
Echo. Yeah. Oh my God. Like, she was crazy. Like, her backstory, she was like this prodigy kid that was handicapped, and she was whipping up these little kids and these little martial art tournaments. I'm like, dang. But then you understand, like, she is looking for the person that killed her father. She's like, yo, and I love that. Yeah.
Revenge.
Revenge.
The villain buildup. Revenge.
Right. So pretty much I like that her character, we see Echo, even though she handicapped, she throw down. I was like, and she doing sign language? Like, yeah, you lying.
I wasn't even gonna say nothing about that, but you did. So hey, yeah. You went there.
Echo was a trip, man. I love, like, when you remember the scene where she fought Kate Bishop. Kate Bishop was so shocked. She's like, wait a minute, because what's her name's like, hey, she's over here. You like, nah, she ain't here with me. And they went to her house and stuff. Boy, that fight scene was crazy. Yeah, but Echo, I know for her character, you kind of see her beginning and what led her to kind of become close to Kingpin and everything. I did like that aspect of it. I did hear they're coming out with an Echo series. She's got her own series coming out. And I'm like, man, like, who is she going to fight in the series? She's going to fight Hawkeye? Is she going to fight Daredevil? Because she is also a Daredevil villain too. And a Kate Bishop villain. So I'm like, I want to see what they do with their character. I'm glad they picked somebody that had, you know, sign language and disabilities, because that really worked with
I mean, that had to be a plus. Either that had to be a plus or they had to teach them, because we're not going to go through the same thing we went through with the lady who took the job for sign language for the government. She was standing there and the people were like I had no idea what that lady was saying. I don't know what she was doing.
Yeah, I think she, like I said, it was a good casting call. I gotta give it to Marvel with the sign language and her having a disability. It worked really well, and you could tell they, like you said, they probably worked with her with the choreography and stuff, because it flowed really well with Hawkeye when she was fighting Hawkeye, when there was Kate Bishop. Man, I thought for sure she was gonna kill Kingpin at the end of Hawkeye. I was like, I kept saying, I was like, is she gonna really hurt him or is she gonna let him go?
You know they're gonna keep these things going just for a little bit. They're gonna put you on the edge of your seat, and then
so I think with her show, we'll see her kind of deal with what happened, the aftermath, losing her man. That was her best friend / lover, because he was kind of feeling her a little bit. He's like, you know. But we'll see like the aftermath of what really kind of took place, and maybe where she's at mentally now. Because I'm pretty sure she ain't gonna trust nobody no more after that.
Oh, of course not. Oh, of course not.
Yeah.
Who would? Would you? I wouldn't. No, sir.
Right. Yeah. So definitely. The last thing I want to ask, what is your favorite Marvel trilogies or trilogy?
Don't laugh.
Okay.
Fantastic Four.
Okay.
Only because.
Okay.
When I was younger,
okay,
I had a slight obsession. And I mean utterly slight.
Okay.
Utterly slight.
Okay.
And once stuff like Silver Surfer started coming out, and I was, it built a different basis for me.
Okay.
One, because I was really appreciative of a squad, and then there was like, okay, homegirl here, yeah. Who's that, Jessica Alba?
Okay.
Was that Jessica?
Oh, you talking about Jessica Alba?
I think so.
Yeah.
That was Jessica. Yeah, and I loved her. And I loved her. Okay. So all I'm saying and all I'm trying to prove here is that the birth of what could be your favorite sometimes start with the character, you know?
Okay.
And Jessica Alba was one of those people. One is because I've seen her in like previous like shows and movies before, and I'm also a choreographer, so she was in like a dance movie too. So I was just like, "Hey, homegirl!" So then that's when it started to become one of the favorites. But if I had to push it to like recent, I'll say Iron Man.
Okay.
I don't feel like anything. I don't feel like the adaptation, and any of the other Marvel movies are like that. And not only that, what you can see is that majority of everything started because of Stark Industries. You know what I'm saying? So once you figure that out, you have now found the key to why everything is the way it is. Okay.
Right.
I unlocked the cheat codes. That's what happened.
Okay, so you said Iron Man trilogy. Okay, so some of my favorite trilogies, I got a couple of them. Captain America's trilogy, because we learn a little bit more about Cap before he meets the Avengers. You know what I'm saying? Like how he was as this wimpy.
You mean Diary of a Wimpy Kid? That's what that was. That's what that movie was.
Yeah, just a little, kind of wimpy, kind of not physically fit type of character. But then we understand that he signs up for war and gets the super serum. I kind of like wish they would have kept the Red Skull villain. The guy that played Red Skull is the guy. He's one of those actors that doesn't stay if it's like it was too long. for like movies to come out because he wasn't in Avengers Endgame. That wasn't him. That was somebody else.
Right.
He like if you don't call him back by a certain time, he's gone. He's like, hey, I got another script. I'm not coming back. But I like that we learned about Red Skull's origins a little bit because I was seeing him in the Spider-Man animated series that came out in the 90s, but I didn't know enough about Red Skull. Like I knew he was not a Spider-Man villain, but more so a Captain America villain, but not enough about him. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I think the first movie worked out because at the end we see him eventually joining the Avengers and stuff with what's that? Gosh, what's my man's name? Shield.
Okay.
And you know, Nick Fury, you know what I'm saying, and also Natasha Romanoff. So that's kind of the start of that. Then with the second film, we learn about his friend Bucky, his best friend Bucky, and Bucky being brainwashed by Hydra, you know what I'm saying? So first movie, we learned about his story, you know what I'm saying? Whereas with the second movie, we find out his friend is still alive, but he's brainwashed, and one of his arms is like made out of vibranium. Yeah, so we learned about that story and him kind of learning to work with the Shield a little bit, you know what I'm saying, and Natasha Romanoff. I thought the fighting choreography was really well put off because I'm one of those people like I like fighting choreography in some of these Marvel and TV shows and stuff. And I was like, man, this was really well done. Because I know they said in the first one it was a little sloppy. They said we're gonna get better with this. And then the third Captain America movie was more so the Avengers having their differences. You know what I'm saying? We got these people on this side. We have Spider-Man introduced, Black Panther.
He didn't even know. That was hilarious when they introduced Peter Parker. He knew nothing what was going on. He was literally just a humble soul. He just like, I'm just so happy to be here.
Yeah, he was so happy to be there. He was lost in the sauce. And I love that we find out about who killed Tony's parents. Remember, in the other Avengers movie, we saw, like, I think it was Iron Man 1 or 2. No, 1. We saw like what happened to his parents, but we didn't know who killed his parents. Like, oh, Bucky! I was like, oh my god! I said, dang, and it was so funny because like the scene where Tony was like, so you knew all this time, Cap? You knew all this time? You knew your man's killed my family? He was so pissed at him. He was like, I can't believe this.
Yeah, and that's when the battle between man and machine came. You know what I'm saying?
Cap and him that was a
kind of nice fight scene. It was the way they the way they had camera pans and the slowness of it, the realisticness of it was just that of everything. Okay, that's what I was like really happy about in that close confined space, and I was just like, if that's not them doing these stunts, I'm just shame. Shame.
Yeah, it was just crazy that he knew the secret. He ain't tell him like this supposed to be your man. You ain't saying nothing. Oh man,
that's kind of a tough question though, because who you gonna choose? Your homeboy, homie? You know what I'm saying? You gonna choose homeboy or homie? Like
Yeah, so the third movie, to me, that was overall like the best of the trilogy. I love the other two movies for what they were, but I feel like the third one offered a little bit more. We saw the Avengers having their differences, you know what I'm saying? They on this, some on this side, the other ones on this side, they going at it.
But that was, but see, they were torn, and they didn't know how to operate as a team. Everybody was trying to do their own thing at one point.
Right.
And so, I mean, ultimately, that's when they figured out that they needed each other, and good God, did they need each other? Because I was getting irritated at the fact that half of them were trying to save the world, and other half weren't even trying to hear it. Like, all right, we all just go sit here and die.
So my next trilogy would have to be X-Men, the first X-Men movies that came out in the early 2000s. I gotta say that was impressive because remember at that time CGI was kind of like at the start of becoming better, and we started to see that with the X-Men movies. You know what I'm saying? I was like, dang, especially with Cyclops when he did the thing with his glass, like, you know, shot the beams out and stuff. I was like, oh my god.
You You go back and you watch some of those movies. You go back and you watch some of those movies now. You're gonna be like, I know good and well this ain't what I used to get excited about. I do that all the time with what was it? The VHS version of Ninja Turtles.
Okay.
I do that all the time with a realistic version of them.
Yeah.
I'm like, I used to get excited. I mean, we got Shredder in one corner, like this. I was excited for the gang that was coming out, but then when I'm just looking at it, I'm like, what in the world?
Right. Yeah, so that's the thing. Like, I love with the first X-Men movie, we're introduced to like a young Magneto, so we learned about why he was kind of like the way he was. His family was torn apart, and just how that transformed him through that trauma that he went through. And also we saw Charles a little bit and some of the things he went through. I think with the first X-Men movie, man, I was like, this is cool. We got our Wolverine, because Hugh Jackman, that's I'm telling you, I don't care what nobody said, that's the best Wolverine that we got. Like this man, and a lot of people don't realize, like with Hugh Jackman, I'm like, I think he was the highest paid actor out of the X-Men movie, I think, because he's in the first 3 movies a lot. But I like the story on how Wolverine meets Charles Xavier, him coming to the school and just him trying to be cool with the other X-Men, like Halle Berry being Storm, Cyclops, and he has a theme for Jean Grey, so it's a kind of a rivalry between him and Cyclops. Like, that's my girl, that's my girl, I thought that was really cool that they introduced that part of the story and stuff, but also the issues with Magneto and him trying to get rid of the other human race, and he's kind of like, nah, bruh, he got his mutants. He got Sabretooth, he got Toad, he got some other mutants with him and stuff. So you're like, hey, I'm like, man, he don't come with the squad.
If you gonna come ready, bro, come ready.
Yeah, so I think the first movie was really good. And then the second one, I'm glad that they introduced Lady Deathstrike. You know what I'm saying? It was good to see her fighting Wolverine, how that went down. I said, dang, her nails like she like I was like and just what happened to Wolverine, how he was being experimented on and everything. So you learned more about Wolverine's past and why he's kind of like distrusting towards other people, because he was a guinea pig and they put him in a like a chemical thing and put adamantium in his body, and now he's kind of like freaked out and kind of probably not as trusting, because he's like, yo, they did all this stuff to me. What make you think you're not gonna do the same? That's why he never really wanted Charles Xavier right to go into his mind or anything. I was like, man, like you got some horrible memories, So, and then the last movie, X-Men Last Stand, from that trilogy was really good. I think some of my favorite scenes in there was when Shadowcat and Juggernaut, like, do you know who I am? I'm the Juggernaut. He started running. And then the other scene where Iceman becomes Iceman. Remember he fighting Pyro? And he finally becomes Ice. That was epic. I was like, yes! Like, Bobby become Iceman. He's like, oh yeah. He's like, we ain't in school no more. I'm like, ooh.
Like I told you, it's always going to be the rivalry. It'll be the rivalry. It'll always be the rivalry for me.
Yeah, that's because they both was liking the same girl. They was liking both was liking Rogue and stuff. So had a little rivalry. Like, oh, she liked me way more.
That's at that point. Everybody was thinking, well, Rogue needs to speak up at this point. But just delay it a little bit longer. We're gonna get this fight scene together, and once we got that, then it's a wrap, bro.
And I liked it.
Go ahead and talk it out.
Right. And I like the ending of it because we see Wolverine almost losing everything to like stop Jean Grey. And we see Cyclops is a little disappointed because they had to do what they had to do in order to beat her and stuff. I think out of that movie, that the trilogy was really done well. I wish they would have had Gambit. I would have loved to see Gambit. That's the only thing I was like, yo, when y'all reboot X-Men, because they are rebooting X-Men for another movie. I know the director for the Spider-Man Home trilogy, he is going to be the director for the new S-Man movie. So I would love to see them have Gambit in it because I'm like, yo, like, where's Gambit? Like, my man's throwing the cars. Madam Sari, he got the little stick and stuff. I was just like, yo, we gotta have Gambit this time. Like, I get it, y'all had some of the other characters, like y'all had Mystique, some of the other well-known musicians, but like, yo, y'all gotta give us Gambit.
They gotta make sure they do it right. They gotta make sure it's done right. Cause like I said, these Marvel fans are worse than Barbie fans, and they will tear a movie up like they will disintegrate a movie if it's not to their like if it's not to that particular T. Like
so I think the next one I would say trilogy wise, I'm gonna go with Thor. I thought Thor. Yeah, the first two Thors, I liked them because they were a little bit darker, but it worked for what it was because you got a chance to understand what Asgard was like. I think that's what I really can see. I never owned like a lot of the Marvel comic books. I had a friend of the family's, their son, he had this big old treasure chest of like comic books. So I'm like, man, I want to see what Asgard's really like in the movie. So I'm like, yo, this is impressive. You know what I'm saying? And just learning about Loki's backstory in the first movie that he's not actually, like how Thor is. He's one of those, Ice Titans or something like that.
Right.
Yeah. So I was like, man, and then he made himself look like that. I was like, that's interesting. But I like that we saw Asgard and just how the gods function and how they're living and stuff. I thought that was really cool with the first film and how cunning his brother Loki was. Right. Then the Dark World came out, the second Thor film. I'm like, yo, this is dark.
It had to be because it has to show the true. It got to show the true intentions. You know what I'm saying? We found out Loki wasn't really of them, but he was of someone else. So it had to take that moment to disintegrate into a darker version of itself. Right. But it definitely fit since the whole issue of the Avengers truly coming together was based off Thanos, who really came from their Thanos didn't even come from their world, but they were very aware of him.
Yeah, they were aware of him.
Gamora. Yeah. Gamora's world.
Right.
So okay. So you see, and I don't even know why they're intertwined in such a manner. I really.
Yeah, but then with Thor 2, you also saw the problem about pretty much like this. I forgot what it was, like a foreshadowing of what was yet to come. Like a lot of these people were gonna die and all this stuff. And I love that the Dark Elves, man, they look pretty creepy, man. I was like, ooh.
The villains gotta match.
Yeah, they look pretty creepy. I was like, man, they really stepped it up. Like these little, when you think of Dark Elves, you think like, okay, they look like, something like you maybe see in Harry Potter, but no, these elves was buff. They were strong, and you saw that Thor needed his brother in order to defeat the Dark Elves. You know what I'm saying? Despite him betraying them as he does, because we know he's the trickster god. He ended up betraying them anyway. But then with Thor 3, it had a different change because it had a different director for Thor 3, Taiki. And I always tell people this, he reminds me of James Gunn. Their styles are similar with this color palette, like very colorful 70s type of vibe to their films.
Yeah.
I love Thor Ragnarok. I love that they were able to use Hulk in this movie because a lot of people don't know Hulk is still owned by Universal. He's not owned by Marvel. So they only could limit how many times he could be used. Like, hey, look, you use our characters this many times, but after that, you can't use them.
Right.
So I gotta say, Thor Ragnarok, it was a fun ride. It was colorful, hilarious. I love Korg in it. I love that he's actually the director. That character is Korg. Tahiti. Korg is, do you remember the rock looking Titan thing in Thor Ragnarok?
Yeah, he was one of the giants, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's this little stone. Yeah, one of the stone. Yeah, that's actually the director voicing them.
The things you learn, okay?
Yeah.
What you learn?
Yeah, so you know, I like Thor 3 because, like I said, we see their friendship between Thor and Incredible Hulk and how he's dealing with learning how to transform, but he's kind of like wanting to be more in a peaceful state. Like, yeah, I meditate, I do this and stuff. He said, no, I need you as Hulk.
Come on, nah, bro. You gonna have to get in on this floor. No, sir.
Right. And I love that the villain was Helena. Helena was the villain, the lost sister of
Yeah.
Loki and Thor that his father never talked about.
Yep, that
Yeah,
was
like
good.
yeah.
I actually enjoyed that one fairly well. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's good because Odin really didn't. A lot of it started based on Odin, you know, family. Okay,
Yeah.
family
Right.
once again, but and then I think that's what turned Loki too. Odin. See, yep.
Yeah.
I just another Zeus.
Yeah. So I do look forward to Thor 4. I know that's the next Thor that's coming out this year, in July. It was July 8th. So I do look forward to that because it is the same director, Taiki again. So can't wait to see what he does with it this time around. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a wild adventure because he's actually working with the Guardians of the Galaxy. I did see that. I was like, ooh, nice mashup.
Oh yeah, I definitely. I love when Marvel starts mixing universes and characters.
Yeah.
It does something for it does something for the enjoyment, you know. And they already know it's gonna be triple times at the box office. Like it's
Oh
triple.
yeah, it's gonna sell.
We're going triple platinum
Definitely
at the box office today, guys. Go ahead
right.
and grab that round. Grab it early.
Yeah,
Go
so
ahead and grab that
definitely.
round early.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so that's the other film. And I'm trying to figure out, do I have another one? Let me see. Um, let's see. Mm, I would say the second S-Man series that they came out with, the first three movies, not the fourth movie. First Class, that was really good. I did like that. That's the same director that did the first X-Men movies. And I like that with this movie, we saw this is like an alternative universe, not the same universe from the first X-Men movies that came out in the 2000s. It was really well thought of. We had like an earlier version of like Magneto's team and everything.
Right.
Our younger Magneto, even a younger Charles Xavier was explored. So I did like that aspect of it. Then we had Future Days Past. Was it Future Days Past, right?
I believe so. I believe Future Days Past.
Yeah. So then with that movie, it was more so pretty much it was like, man, this is great that they have this movie where they're going back in time and stuff, and you kind of see like in the future it's pretty much like a dystopia. We see Bishop, we see all these other mutants dying. I was like, man, this is pretty chaotic, boy. I see why they want to come back. And then we're introduced to some of the other mutants from the previous movie that were in this movie. And I'm just like, man, like what happened to this mutant? Then you find out that some of them end up getting killed by this one guy that was like this midget character. I can't think of my man's name. He always plays these crazy, complicated, intellectual type of characters, even when he's not in Marvel. But he was the reason for that. And Magneto was like, yo, we should kill him all because he's against mutants and stuff. Was very interesting. And also it focused on the story that at some time Charles Xavier had a theme for Mystique. I never knew that. Yeah, it was
The
this very
things you
different.
find out. That's what
Yeah,
I say.
because there was a scene where he's like, oh, what you gonna do, Charles? That's what Magneto was telling him. Like, what you gonna do now? She with me. And I'm like, bruh, he taking shots at him. He taking shots like, I got your girl over here with me, man. She ain't over here with you no more. Yeah, so it was very interesting. They showed that. But also in this, we saw like Wolverine. You know what I'm saying? We saw Wolverine kind of just learning how to deal with certain things too. I was a little disappointed with this movie towards the end because when they had the end credits, they kind of screamed like, "Oh, we're gonna get the Omega Red S-Man 3 movie." You know what I'm saying? And that wasn't the case. I was just like, yo, y'all kind of threw it out there, like, you know, they had the end credits, and you're like, yes, this is what I want. Yeah, so but X-Men 3, was it Apocalypse? That was really good. It fared better than the fourth movie. I think the fourth movie had its good and its bad, but I don't know, it was more bad than good. I think the first half of the movie
More
was
bad
good.
than
It's like a retake of the previous X-Men movie that came out. I was like, but those three movies, they really aged well. Apocalypse, I didn't like him as much. I feel like that fight was so short lived. I was like, this it? He's
they,
just ancient.
like I said, they trying to give you more content. I think, and now when they were just putting action in there for just sporadic scenes, but like
Yeah.
they tried to give more death.
Yeah, I was a little disappointed. I thought Apocalypse was gonna be taking down people left and right. I was like, hey, they took him out this quick. I was like, man. I was
Not
thinking,
every mutant will make it, and
yeah.
that's okay.
I was like, dang. I thought for sure, like, all right, we're gonna get it. The X-Men 3 part 2 to this because they ain't defeat them the first time. But yeah, I like that the younger actors. They had a lot of younger actors. They had a new Cyclops. We had a new who was that? We had a new Cyclops. Wolverine was still the same. We had a new Storm. You know what I'm saying? Had to get used to that because I'm so used to Halle Berry playing that role. I was like, hey, they ain't get Halle Berry back.
It's gonna take when they switch up writers and roles, and hey, it could have been based off something. I got to go back and do a little bit of research about it, but it could have been based off something that she personally had to do herself, like another movie or so, or
Yeah,
just the fact that because they're in contracts and their contracts are ending. Sometimes they decide whether they want
yeah,
to or not, so they
right.
switch them up. That's why I was saying in the beginning, like once they switched writers and directors, they changed the whole cast.
Yeah, it
They
kind of
changed the
plays a
whole
factor
thing.
because with Storm, we had this new girl. And I don't know if you've seen the commercial, like it showed in the movies, her singing and stuff. I'm like, what does this have to do with the movie? Like, I guess she's the new Storm actress. Like, I mean, she can sing, I'm not gonna lie, but I was like, why is this a part of the commercial before the movie? I'm just like, it's not connected to
We
the
don't
movie.
want this.
Yeah, it was kind of weird. I was like, so I guess AMC was like, hey, look, we're gonna throw her in here. Like, look, we're gonna show that she does music too. Maybe that was a part of her deal. Like, maybe they're like, she's like, look, I got this music thing going on, and I want to sing. And Marvel like, okay, look, we're gonna give you the role, but in order for you to do that, we need you to, sing. Can I get my commercial too? So maybe it was a compromise type of thing. Maybe she was able to negotiate. Hey, I want my music out there too. I don't want them to know that I'm just Storm. But the new look for the girl that played her, I think she did a somewhat of a decent job. You know what I'm saying? It took me a while to get used to it. I was like, man, I'm so used to seeing how that's like how it is with Hugh Jackman. If he gets replaced, and I heard in the next was it Doctor Strange 2, there is gonna be a new Wolverine. The guy that's playing him, I don't know how true this is. The guy that plays in Kingsman, it was it gosh, the main character will be taking over for Wolverine for like the next X-Men movie. So I'm gonna have to readjust to getting used to a new person playing Wolverine.
Definitely got if it's that guy, we're definitely gonna have to try to adjust it, get used to that because
because I like Hugh Jackman. I'm like, man.
no, and I remember reading some articles in regards to him not continuing. There are also, and my heart goes out to these actors because it's a lot of actors who are stopping. Either they're getting older, but also there's some things going on, health issues that we don't know about. And then people always get so mad and so pressed about it, and then that forces them to release information they wanted to keep private. So
Right.
if in fact, because I did read some, I just hope Hugh Jackman is well, and I always wish him the best of luck in everything that he does.
Right.
Because he's not just Wolverine, but at the end of the day, that's what we're mainly going to see him as Wolverine. So
Right.
once he gets replaced,
But
I don't know about them ratings and views being the same.
yeah, some you
Y'all might have to start it off with somebody getting thrown across the galaxy.
Yeah, so I think
down.
I think the reason why he stopped was more so because he did a whole liquid diet. That's That's why you never saw him eat anything in X-Men movies. He was on a strict liquid diet, so all he was having was liquids, whether it was like fruit and veggie liquids or just water. So I'm like, ooh.
This extreme dieting for the sake of acting is out of
Insane.
control. People do
Yeah,
the same thing in my field too, because like I said, I'm also a choreographer. So
right.
there are a lot of people who take really, really strict diets and they don't have to. Okay. But
Yeah,
they do.
yeah.
Just so they could, because they feel like they're not at that best for that role or something. And you never want to shame somebody for doing so, because hey, I
Nah,
mean, if you feel
nah.
like you're not ready, you do what you need to do to get together, but don't don't take yourself out the game because of it. We
Right,
still want to see more of you, you know?
right. That's why I think he was so like against joining the Deadpool movies because I don't think he really wanted to go back on that diet. I'm like, nah.
Well, it probably wasn't just that. I'm just saying a lot of people can't compete with that actor.
Yeah, that too. And I think with him, because I know he's gonna be in Doctor Strange too. Um, he is gonna be in it. So I think Marvel offered him a lot more money than Deadpool 2, because Ryan Reynolds probably offered him a certain amount of money, but I think he was like, nah. But then when Marvel, like, hey, look, man, we got this nice check for you. You're gonna be in Doctor Strange 2. It's gonna be another big Marvel movie. I think Hugh Jackman had to change of heart. He was like, you know what?
Oh yeah, because he knew if you the thing is if you gonna sit down and retire, you better make sure you got everything you need to sit down and retire.
Yeah,
So that little them extra funds definitely come in handy.
right.
Definitely come in handy. And if it's his last hoorah, you know what I'm saying? He wants to make it worth it because you never know. Those movies could still be in a generator for
Right.
Emmys, Grammys, all of that.
Right.
Oscar they.
Yeah. So then I want to say I'm gonna give an honorable mention to Logan. Logan, to me, I didn't like the first two Wolverine movies. I fell asleep on both of them. I went to see it with friends, and they were boring to me. Logan,
That's an honest
oh,
answer. That's honest
that was the
answer.
best one. That was the best one. I was like, dang, why this couldn't be like the other two movies? I kept saying to myself, like, man, they could have did this. This could have worked out, but no, I think with Logan, it was an emotional ride type of movie because you knew he was gonna die. The casting was on point. Like Patrick Stewart was on point as an older Professor Charles S. We also had S23. We're introduced to her character, which is like the clone of Wolverine, but just more aggressive. I love the little girl that played that character. She really did a great job. I just saw her casting tape like a couple years ago when they were doing like on-screen sets for like the Logan movie,
Mm-hmm.
and she went all the way in. Like I
Oh,
thought
she
Hugh
was
Jackman
nuts.
was going.
She really was. She was.
Yeah,
She
I
was.
thought.
She was real badass.
Yeah, I thought Hugh Jackman was going to punch her because she got in his face. She's like, oh my god.
She reminded me of a
Um,
little cat. You know, like
yeah, she
and,
was she was something else. S23, and I liked the how it ended because you knew he was gonna die. They had gotten old, and they had the clone Wolverine. It was pretty bloody. I didn't think. I was like, dang, this Logan is
oh
dark.
yeah. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
they're gonna get the older the movies get, the more gruesome they're gonna become because
yeah,
they're gonna start playing with their boundaries. People, those studio producers, directors, they're gonna start playing with those boundaries. If
yeah.
they can go a little further with something just to make it a little bit more dramatic, they're going
Right,
to do so. When you hear
right,
the like blood, oh yeah,
right. Yeah,
all
it
of it.
was definitely.
Use the whole pack.
I think the only dislike was with my man's was the mutant and he died when he was the son. Like, what is he, a vampire or the one mutant? But he got like he could. I was like, what the heck? He's like, what type of mutant is that? He's like, yeah, I can't be near sunlight. And then he gets out of the sunlight and his skin just started to flake up and everything. I'm like, come on, bro. Y'all could find some other mutant.
Well, I think I've had just about enough of this show.
Yeah.
What is this, Twilight?
Yeah, I was like, is he a vampire? Me? I was trying to figure that out. I'm like, yeah, I can't be near sunlight because you see him in there. He's like in like a white shirt, and I think he has on like regular pants and stuff. And you're just like, and then you see he's kind of got like his face kind of like you can't really see his face. I was like, "Dang, why has he got his face covered up like that?" Then you realize, like, oh, his mutant power, he can't, nothing sun or I guess light illumination kills him. I'm like, that's a gruesome mutant power. Could you just imagine you can't see the sun?
Yeah.
You have to, yeah, that was wild.
They
Yeah,
had some
so
wild moments. That's what I said. That's what it's all about, though. Like
yeah,
that. That builds that character development, the relationships,
yeah,
the forefront of it
right,
all. When I
yeah,
tell you the base,
right. And I like the also him still being with Professor S in that movie. I was like, that was kind of cool how they played that into
oh
it.
yeah, that's OG.
Yeah, yeah. But
That's
I
always gonna be OG. That's just OG.
so you was like, you more so with this one than what's the other guy, Travis McCoy? Nah. Travis was okay. You gotta give him some props when he started to learn how to. She's like, no, Travis. I don't know. I like Travis though. I like Patrick Stewart for what he did with Charles
Travis
Xavier.
Scott.
I think Travis was okay. You started to understand a little bit more about him in his younger years with Travis, but more so with Patrick Stewart is more like, I guess you say, an age Professor S. So I'm like, I get what you're going with this. It's cool.
But yeah, talking about no, the basis is there. The basis is there.
Yeah, it really is. All right, Chan. So it was nice collaborating with you, and hopefully we can do this again. It was definitely fun for sure. Yeah.
Well, I greatly appreciate it. You know, just to.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I gotta put my hat on right. I can't.
Okay.
All right, yeah. No, this was definitely fun, you know,
Yeah.
definitely and it's the first collab. So make
Yeah.
sure you bring this video on over so I can put it on the Chan station. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay.
Definitely. But
Yeah.
it was a pleasure to be here.
Yeah,
We got
nice working
2
with you.
hours and 30 minutes almost of some good convo going in. And you know, like I said, it's an endless list on both ends. But as far as me, if I have to say team wise, I'm team anime. Team
Okay.
anime.
Team anime.
Team
I'm
anime.
both.
You see me
I
standing
like
here
anime.
I'm on my Snow Peak Mountain in the dojo.
Okay. Well, I
That's
like my anime and I like my Marvels, so you know, I like both for what they are. Yeah. Yeah. So all right, well, you have a good Saturday, and hopefully let me know if you want to collab again, and maybe we can do something again for sure.
Awesome. Definitely for
Yeah.
sure. And later to the chat. It was nice
All right.
vibing with y'all. All
Yeah.
right. We'll be
All
back
right.
here.
Yep. Take care.
You too.
Yeah.